Hi, everybody, and welcome to a very special preview episode of So What Happens Next. My name is Thomas.
I'm Amber.
And I'm Patrick.
And today we are going to give you a nice little MCU recap before we go see Avengers Endgame. The previous MCU, we're gonna go ahead and start off with that. So, because not everybody sees these movies. I mean, they've made what, 20 of them?
22.
Yeah.
22. Fuck
And sadly,
me.
there are those people that just live under a rock and don't know what Marvel is.
What do you mean? What's an Iron Man? Like,
Patrick's wife.
oh, who saw this movie and I haven't? But yes, there are plenty of people who don't know what this movie is or have seen any of them. So to kind of give us a recap, we're going to go around and just sort of try to remember in order-ish of the movies coming out. So, Patrick, I think you probably have a better handle on this than me. Starting with the first one, which I think is Iron Man, was the one that started
Iron Man
all
was
this
the first
off,
one that
right?
started off with John Favreau, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. That's his, rise back to fame, right?
Exactly. That was his rise back to fame.
Or DJ.
But if we're going by year, then we would start off with MC Universe year.
Yeah.
Captain America, the First Avenger.
Oh, so you want to go in
Steve
chronological
Rogers.
order?
I'd like to
of
do
the movies.
chronological.
Okay,
yeah.
that's totally fine. Let's
Yeah.
do Captain America, the not quite First Avenger.
Yeah.
We'll get to why much later.
So Captain America,
Yep.
the way he became Captain America was a special serum
Yep.
that was syringed into his body, we could say, multiple times, multiple ways, and was
Like Wolverine.
like Wolverine.
It would
Yep.
have been really cool if that happened, like the Wolverine Origins movie, and you get Chris Evans jumping out of that tub stark naked, and he's just like, then jumps out a waterfall with his dong hanging out.
Yeah.
Yep. And in that movie, we're showing the Tesseract, which is the first of the Infinity Stones that is featured in Marvel movies, if I'm correct. If not, then guess I'm wrong. Sorry about that. And
No, I think you're right. I think
Yeah.
that's where we first see the soon-to-be known as Infinity Stone.
right, yep. And then from there, I believe then Iron Man would be next.
No, it would not.
Was it Thor?
Captain Marvel would be next.
Oh, that's right.
Speaking.
Chronologically, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, you haven't?
I haven't,
Well, then
no.
let Amber and I go ahead and fill you in on that. So, Amber, jump in whenever you feel like, because I'm not sure if I remember all of it correctly. But basically, it starts out... Boy, it's really hard to talk. I'm thinking now it's really hard to talk about these without other ones. But, so it starts out in the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they don't let you forget it's the fucking 90s. In that.
Yeah, Blockbuster Video, right?
A blockbuster, this abused soundtrack it's like great music, it's a great soundtrack, but it's like if you're only gonna play 6 seconds of the Nirvana, then just don't play it. Yeah, no,
That's
Yeah.
upsetting.
it's also like it doesn't make sense. It's like it's playing
kind of like what they're trying to do with Guardians of the Galaxy, but they only do it for like 6 seconds.
right. It's like let's put in all
It's
these
not
really
throughout
great.
the movie.
Yeah, it's like let's put in these really great songs, but it's like a song here, a song there, a song there, a song there, and it's just like sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes.
By the way,
it
did you
doesn't.
see that ad with Kris Jenner?
No.
Or not Kris Jenner. It was the other one.
Bruce Jenner?
No, not Bruce Jenner, his wife. What's her name?
No, it is.
That's Kris Jenner. Yeah,
Kris
that's
Jenner.
Kris
Oh, it is Kris Jenner. Okay. So she it was basically the same scene where she flies into the Blockbuster,
Yeah.
and Kris Jenner's and some other lady they're there in a car, and they're just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then they see it's Captain Marvel, and she's like, I'm gonna get her a movie, and pulls out her phone.
Huh.
What was the commercial for?
Yeah,
I don't even
exactly.
freaking know.
What
I
is that
just saw
for?
it on YouTube. Like,
So, the movie.
I think they were trying to promote the movie.
Oh, so they got Kris Jenner to come in and promote.
Yeah,
Like you need
because
that.
of female empowerment.
No,
or
I get
whatever you
that,
wanna
but it's
call
like
it.
it's Marvel. You don't need to get the Kardashians to come and promote
Yeah.
your
I know,
film.
but they're just seeping their way into everything.
Ugh, gross. They're like ticks. So yeah, the soundtrack. I mean, it's a great soundtrack, but it's just like You get 6 seconds of it ever, and she's wearing a 9 Inch Nails shirt the entire, like, for the better part of the movie. They don't play 9 Inch Nails anywhere.
Oh, wow.
Mind you, I don't know which song they'd play, but they don't do it. Should have just worn a Nirvana shirt. Would have made more sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, so in the 90s, back in the 90s, you are dealing with this war between the Kree and the Skrulls. The Skrulls have sort of been, like, major genocide. The Kree destroyed their home world. But the Skrulls have the ability to shapeshift into whoever, and you can't tell who, even with DNA, you can't tell. So the Kree have been systematically hunting them down wherever they could find them. Captain Marvel, or Veers, as she's called in the beginning of the movie, is, like, not... She doesn't remember who she is, and it turns out it's because of this accident that involved the Tesseract from Captain America that gave her superpowers. But she forgot everything, and when the Kree came to take the thing that gave her the superpowers...
instead of killing her, they were like, oh, let's use her to become kind of like our super soldier.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So they're out killing Kree. It turns out it's honestly a really giant allegory, I think, for the whole Israel-Palestine thing.
Oh, okay.
Is kind of how it boils down. I think that's what they were going for. But, you know, then it turns out, oh my god, the Kree are actually evil. But they were, like, suppressing her powers the whole time with this little thing on her neck, and she overcomes it. She remembers who she was. Turns out she was, like, an Air Force pilot. And, you know, they were testing this new, faster-than-light ship that would, you know, allow this woman who is a Kree pretending to be a human to go and help the Skrulls find a new home that was so far away from the Kree. Because at this point, and I mean, I don't know if this comes into Endgame. I feel like it should. And so you guys tell me, but up until now, like in Guardians and shit, we've only ever seen them travel through those little warp gate things. I don't remember what they called them. They just call it jumping, I think is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, they've only seen them go through these jump gates. And the whole big deal about this is that has a finite... It's like those seem to only be in certain places around the universe.
Yeah.
And they are X amount of distance from a point. Like, I think Jude Law's character is like, oh, the closest jump gate is still, 4 hours away from Earth. Which they kind of fuck up because then they appear right above Earth anyway.
Yeah.
But the whole point of it is that, oh my god, we could basically do hyperspace with the Tesseract.
Right.
That would make us so much faster and go so much further than anybody else in the galaxy. And no one would ever catch us. And the whole thing is like, well, you take the Skrulls away. Turns out the Skrulls are good guys, which is really not what happens in the comics. The Skrulls, like, infiltrate human society and shit in the comics and, like, are taking the planet over by pretending to be people. And it turns out, no, they're actually good. They're being oppressed by the Kree. And
so it's they live.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the end of the movie is Captain Marvel somehow using her powers gets them all on board a ship, all the Skrull on the ship, and says, okay, Sam Jackson, here's this pager, I upgraded it, if you ever need anything. And it's like, it's really got to be important, okay? Use this pager.
I'm a very important
I'm
person,
busy. I'm
and
busy.
I'm going to all these different planets and, like, basically being judge and executioner.
Well, she's like, I gotta go save planets, and at the same time, I gotta go find these guys a planet to live on peacefully.
That's true. Yeah.
So she uses her powers somehow and takes the ship to light speed, and off they go at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's where you get the pager from the end of Infinity War. Is she gave it to him back in the 90s, and they also explain, like, how his eye patch came to be.
Oh, okay.
Because there's this cat, but it's not a cat, it's an alien, but the species looks like a cat, and it can, like, eat anything. It's like this monster thing, but it scratches him in the eye.
That's it?
Yeah.
But it turns out it's like venomous.
Oh, okay.
And so he's like, oh man, it just scratched me in the eye. And one of the Skrulls is like, oh dude, like, you're fucked. Like, you are so fucked. And he's like, it's just a scratch, it'll be fine. And it turns out, like, no, it gets infected and it's all fucked up and he's blind, so he has that eye patch on. And the cat ate the Tesseract to keep it away from the Kree.
Okay.
And the first post-credits stinger is the cat throws up the Tesseract. So, like, that's how he gets the Tesseract in Avengers.
Oh, okay.
And then I think the last teaser is... Oh, the last teaser is whatever Endgame starts with. She appears.
Yeah, with her appearing
Gotcha.
when
Which
they
we'll get
contact her, so.
Yeah. So then, that's the next one. What comes after that?
Then that'd be Iron Man.
Iron Man. Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I mean,
Slash the beginning-ish, I guess, would be wedged in there of Guardians of the Galaxy. The like first 5 minutes. Would be
maybe, and then there's
between-
also then Incredible Hulk, Ed Norton, if you consider that one.
I think we have to.
You have to consider it. So I
So I think
when
it's
that
let's just say the first part of Guardians of the Galaxy happens in 1985 or whatever, where baby Chris Pratt gets abducted by the aliens. His mom dies of cancer. He gets abducted by the aliens.
Yeah.
That happens then. Then you get Captain Marvel. Then you get Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to go ahead and go with Iron Man?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
So at this time, Tony Stark is known for just being a arms dealer, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But legally, selling his arms to help the United States conquer the world and conquer their enemies in the Middle East. And on one of his tours or examples of what a new missile can do, the Jericho, he gets kidnapped and taken to a cave, and the guy asks him to build the Jericho for them, and that's where he built his first Iron Man suit.
Oh yeah. Boy, it's been a long time since I've seen Iron Man.
Yeah.
One. Holy wow. So yeah, he builds the Jericho. He builds the suit, gets him and the other guy out of there, and it's just I remember like the whole beginning of that movie is kind of this slow train of like, this is all the people you've hurt with your weapons.
Yep.
He gets back, and he goes, "I'm gonna make this suit, but like with my."
But I'm also
technology."
shutting down the.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He shuts down the weapons
that's
division,
the big part.
which
Yeah.
pisses
because
off,
then his advisor
Obadiah.
or
Obadiah
Okay.
Crane.
Something like that. Played by Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, the dude. Yeah, pisses off Jeff Bridges because he's like, this is how we made our money, man, was selling weapons. You're going to be broke. And he proves that you can use this renewable energy source, the arc reactor, that he puts in his chest that he made in the cave to keep him alive. Because the missile goes off, he gets shrapnel in his bloodstream.
Yeah.
It's going to tear his heart apart. Use the arc reactor as a magnet to pull it all to the arc reactor so that it doesn't kill him. Back in America, they have a giant one, and Obadiah is sort of like, what the fuck? How is he able to make that in a cave that'll fit in your hand? And we have to have a whole building for this. This is bullshit. And all that crap. So he makes a suit. Obadiah makes a suit that's like a bigger, giant version of it. They fight. Obadiah dies by falling into the arc reactor. Tony goes on being Iron Man. He tells everybody he's Iron Man. He has
he
the
tells
press
everyone.
conference. That's right. He tells, I am Iron Man.
Yeah.
Everyone freaks out. And we move on to the next movie, which is Thor. Because
yeah.
the post-credit stinger, I remember now, I didn't know this for years until I started seeing the stingers at the end of Marvel movies, and I go, I wonder if Iron Man had one of those. And I remember way back, I watched Iron Man again, and I let the credits play, and then suddenly there's a fucking stinger for Thor at the end of it.
Yep.
Is the hammer's already on the ground, and you get Coulson finds it, and he calls Fury, Sam Jackson's character, and he's just like, yeah, we found it, or some shit.
Yeah.
In the desert of New Mexico. So we're on to Thor. Do we remember what happens in Thor?
Thor, Chris Hemsworth's character is kind of a egotistical asshole.
Oh, he's a huge douchebag.
And he keeps risking the lives of his friends to build up his ego against the Frost Giants? Frost World? Frost something?
Oh, I remember. It's because
Yeah.
Odin, Thor's dad, has a deal with the Frost Giants,
Yep.
right? He's like, I'm not going to fuck with you. You don't fuck with us.
yeah.
And then the Frost Giants come to Asgard with their magic ice box, freezing people. Or they come to get the ice box.
Yeah.
They come to get the ice box, and no one knows how they got into Asgard because they're supposed to take Rainbow Road.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called.
The
You know more about that kind of mythology
I
than me.
don't.
I don't know what it was.
I don't remember.
well, I do, but it's not coming to me right
I
now.
don't-
Rainbow Road sounds good.
Rainbow
Yeah,
Road,
Rainbow
like Mario Kart.
That's exactly what it made me think of.
It's every time. Yeah, so they come and they're like, what the hell, how did this happen? And Thor gets his buddies and Loki, and they're like, we're going to go fuck them up anyway. And they go to the Frost Giant planet Niflheim.
Yeah.
Probably,
no.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ends in a Heim. So.
Wait,
Yeah,
is
well, it's
it?
all
Yeah,
Heim.
it ends in a Heim, but I thought that was like
Everything-
the Death World
I don't know.
or the Death Realm.
Whatever.
Something.
I always remember laughing as like a younger individual at that because it always sounded like
Dang,
nipple.
we need to know this stuff. It was in God of War.
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember always giggling because it was like, it sounds like Niflheim. I'm much older and more mature now. So yeah, they go there, they fuck up the Frost Giants. Odin gets pissed that they did that even though they won, and he banishes Thor and takes away all his powers.
That's true.
Because he's not worthy.
not worthy. Yeah, Thor.
And then he meets
Not the
Natalie
best.
Portman.
He does meet Natalie
and-
Portman, who's arguably the best part of that whole movie, I think. Her and the other girl, I think, are the most entertaining parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Thor eventually gets worthy.
Yeah, he ends up in New Mexico. There's antics of, like, him being a fish out of water. Like, you can't be a fucking Viking in New Mexico. And Natalie Portman's a physicist with Stellan Skarsgård and the girl from Two Broke Girls, whose name I don't remember.
Kat Dennings.
Kat Dennings, who's, like, the comic
Intern.
relief.
Yeah.
Yeah, the intern. They're studying wormholes, it just so happens. And it's like, oh, shit, guess what happens when Thor comes? A wormhole opens up, and there he is. They do that. Loki gets control of Asgard, right?
Yes.
Because Odin goes to the Odin sleep thing. He's kind of gone for a little bit. And Loki sends that fire machine to go kill Thor.
Yeah.
Thor gets his powers back. He becomes worthy for some reason. Kills the thing, goes back to Asgard, saves the day. Odin wakes up. Loki gets... Oh, he destroys the bridge.
Yes.
He destroys the bridge, and Loki falls into space, disappearing for a few movies.
Yes.
That's how he ends
that's
up where he ends
right.
up.
Yeah.
So then, darn it, I can't get to see Natalie Portman anymore. And
Yeah. But then they have it back again.
yeah, they fix it.
They
I
rebuild
think the
it.
whole thing is like the hammer. I think the whole thing that Odin tries to drive home is that the hammer is both like a tool to build. It can be a tool to build, and it can be a tool to like destroy. And that's, I think, the whole deal. It's like, we'll use the hammer and all this other magic-y goop to fix the Rainbow Road. The bridge
Okay.
Or whatever. What comes after Thor? Iron Man 2?
Yeah, Iron Man 2 comes out before the first Avengers.
Well, I guess the Hulk happens somewhere.
The Hulk happens in the middle there, but, I mean...
Edward Norton, who doesn't appear anymore
Yeah.
because he wanted more money or some shit.
Yeah, didn't want to do all the movies.
Oh my god, what a career! Well, I guess it's Edward Norton. He doesn't
It's
really
Edward
need to
Norton,
do
yeah.
it. He's got some weird choices for his career. I don't know. It's just strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Hulk happens. I think the most significant part of that movie is two things. Edward Norton runs away from everybody, goes and lives out in the middle of nowhere. The end of that movie, if I remember, I've only seen bits and pieces of it. I admittedly have not seen the entirety of The Incredible Hulk. Most of it, but not all. There is a scene at the end where he learns how to control it. That's
Yes.
the whole thing. He's just like meditating at the end, and he opens his eyes and they're green. And the little like days without incident drops from like 2 years down to 0.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, he figured out how to control the Hulk. And then I think the stinger scene for that one is Tony Stark talking to the general guy.
General Ross.
Yeah, General Ross, about the Avengers initiative.
Yeah.
Or like it's hinted that that's what they're leaning into. Like he's like,
I think it's S.H.I.E.L.D.
oh, is he talking
more
about S.H.I.E.L.D.?
than Avengers.
It's-
Or because he says, I heard you had a big green problem or something.
Oh, okay.
So it could be Avengers,
yeah.
S.H.I.E.L.D., one of those two.
Yeah. Well, that's Hulk. I mean, it's
Yeah.
things that the last like 15 seconds of that movie are the only important parts of that movie. So then Iron Man 2 is the next one up?
Yeah, Iron Man
right?
2. Everyone knows that Tony's Iron Man.
Yep. He's just kind of parading around as Iron Man. Oh, this is the one with the expo, and it's like this guy's trying to say that Tony's dad stole the arc reactor from
Yeah,
his
it has
dad.
nothing really relevant to the Avengers plot.
Not really.
No,
Oh, wait.
just Black
is
Widow
it because,
appears.
That's
about
true.
it.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
No, like his reactor
Yeah.
is like fucking up.
Oh,
Or
that's
is
right.
that-
That's right.
yeah.
Remember, his dad has like left him that video. His dad, who looks like Walt Disney in a lot of these old videos,
Tries to
like,
be Walt Disney, yeah.
yeah, and he's just like, I theorized about this new element, and I know how to make it, but I'm really limited by my technology of the 1970s. So like, you are a super smart kid. You should make it, and that's where he learns how to make that new element that he sticks in. Gets the triangle arc reactor, because the other one, you're right, Amber, is killing him. It's like poisoning him or something.
Yeah.
And he keeps drinking them nasty green, what's it called? Smoothies the entire movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And he makes that, and you see like Captain America's shield, like foreshadowing that. And then almost like there's like the B plot of that is this Russian guy, who's the son of the guy who supposedly came up with the arc reactor. He's trying to get revenge, and he builds like a crappy one on his own.
Yeah.
He's got the whips.
Yeah.
And then the C plot, what is that actor's name? He plays Hammer in the movie. The like rival company
Yeah,
head.
I don't know who that
Oh,
builds
it's
the drones.
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell's character in that movie. He builds these drones for the military that are supposed to be like Iron Man but robots. Like that he hires the Russian guy low key after faking his death in order to get him to build them for him or whatever. And the Russian guy, has his own motives. Oh, we also get War Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rhodey gets
Yeah.
the War Machine suit.
That part was pretty funny when they were fighting at at his house.
Oh yeah, that whole
Yeah.
like party scene happens, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Go down, I'm
I
taking
don't want
the
to have to
suit.
do this, Tony.
Taking the suit, bitch." Okay, so that's Iron Man 2. Then, oh my god, please don't tell me Thor 2's next. Is Thor 2 the next one?
No, it's Avengers.
Thank God.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Avengers.
Yeah, Avengers.
Fury gets everyone together
Yeah.
to go against the threat of Loki.
Coulson dies.
Coulson
sort
dies.
of, kind of. Depends
sort of.
if you watch that S.H.I.E.L.D. show. Then
Yeah.
it's like a
He does?
ambiguous. Yeah, he gets... Loki kills him.
Oh, he gets stabbed. That's right.
And then he's like, hey, fire robot gun. And blows
That's what
Loki
that thing
away.
does.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
But he comes back, and it's like, I guess if they kept trying to weave the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show into the movies, it would work, but it's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
Coulson's also in they youthify him in
yes,
Captain
they
Marvel.
do.
Yeah.
It's a little weird looking. It's not as weird on Sam Jackson, but it's kind of weird on
I think because
Coulson.
they give him like more
they give
hair.
him a hair. It's almost
Yeah.
like he's wearing I mean, I'm sure he's wearing like a piece.
Right.
But yeah, it's a little funky looking. Yeah, so you get the Avengers. The reason this whole cinematic universe, I think, kept going was because it worked so well.
Yep. It was the introduction of Thanos.
Yeah, you do get that little stinger bit of Thanos, who's not played by Josh Brolin in that movie.
No, he's not.
It's someone else. I don't remember. But yeah, it's basically aliens. Thanos sends aliens to attack Earth and uses Loki as a means of doing that.
Yeah. Also, Thanos looks shorter.
Well, he only saved like the
Avengers.
chest up.
No, he was sitting in that floating seat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't look as big as he
No,
is portrayed
as-
on Infinity War and Endgame.
No,
Yeah.
he's like a darker purple indigo
Yeah.
color.
Yeah.
It's weird. But yeah, you get that. I mean, we get the Tesseract comes back. They're trying to use the Tesseract to open a gateway so the aliens can come destroy stuff. And, everybody teams up especially after Coulson dies. They all rally together and fight against the aliens called the Chitauri, I think is what they call them.
Yeah, something like that.
They stop Loki. There's also a nuclear missile going to head to New York to destroy everything because that's like your classic military move. Is like, well, if we don't know what's going on,
Let's just send a nuke
let's send a
in.
nuke, destroy New York City. Like, that won't hurt anything. And Iron Man's the one who stops that by taking the missile into the portal, throwing it in, barely falls out in time, but it fucks with his head. That's sort of the next thread that kind of goes through the rest of the movies, is that he is kind of having PTSD from this point on, right? Like, he has this PTSD
In
of
a
that
way,
event.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all also throughout that is like Captain America's like, you're not worth it, man. You're just a guy with money in a
that's
suit.
right,
You're not. You won't sacrifice yourself. Yada yada yada
Yeah.
yada yada.
And he even says that, and that's the whole point of that scene, is like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck you, Steve Rogers. I'm going to do the sacrifice play. Like, get bent.
Yep.
Thor takes Loki back to Asgard, where he imprisons him. And that's where you get Iron Man 3 or Thor 2? I think it's Thor 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thor 2.
Because they take Loki back, they imprison him.
Yeah, because everybody's like,
But
if
then
you
they
need us
have
again-
that. They have that battle with the Dark Elves.
this is the worst. I think this
I
is
know.
the
I've only
worst
seen
one.
bits of this one, and
Oh, don't feel bad.
okay.
I've seen it a couple times. I don't like Thor the Dark World very much.
I feel
It's-
bad for Thor because
I-
he didn't get the same kind of movie quality.
yeah,
as the
because
rest
it
of
was
the
directed
characters.
by.
someone who doesn't direct for the MCU anymore, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like you got Christopher Eccleston, who's known for being really blunt if he doesn't like a role, and he really hated that role. And I mean, I think I've read interviews with him where he was like, I was just so stupid. Like, I just saw the paycheck and was like, I need the paycheck, and he did it, and he like, I guess burned some bridges with the directors and stuff because he's like, this is fucking terrible. I hate this. I hate doing the makeup for like 9 hours every morning. Like,
Yep.
this isn't worth it. This is stupid. And so that's why he's just not in anything
Yeah.
that on that end of stuff.
And
anymore.
Natalie Portman regretted signing on to the
Yeah.
MCU, just like
Yeah.
Idris Elba did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
she's out. She's
Yeah.
like just kind of gone in the third one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Thor the Dark World. Unfortunately, it's sort of important because you get another Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
So you get what is later known as the Reality Stone. They call it, I think, the Aether.
Ether.
Ether.
Yeah.
And it's this like funky jelly looking red and black goop that the Dark Elves were using to destroy like all the light in the universe, I guess, make everything dark. I don't know. They explain it. It's kind of weird to conceptualize. Christopher Eccleston's character is the main evil Dark Elf, and they thought that all of them were killed, but it turns out that like him and a handful of others are hibernating, and if he can get the Aether, then he can have all his powers back, and he can destroy everything.
Right.
And it infects Natalie Portman, and Natalie Portman sort of kind of has the powers of the Aether, but it's killing her. So they got to figure out a way to get it out of her. Asgard gets attacked. They chase him off to this dark world, which is where the elves are from. I think Loki's in prison. Thor gets Loki out of there to help because Loki knows how to move around the different realms without the Rainbow Road. They go to Earth. They get Natalie Portman and Skarsgård. And
they all help.
But where's the part with his mom? Because she dies in this one.
That's right.
Yeah, that
they
was
kill his mom. That was the catalyst for why Loki was like, let's do this shit. Oh, fuck. I think doesn't Eccleston come to
something like that?
He comes to Asgard and kills her in
Okay.
front of Thor. Yeah, he kills her in front of Thor or whatever the hell happens, and then they go stop him. The Aether they kind of trap it, and that one, they come to Earth. They're gonna destroy Earth, and then they do some sciencey shit and stop him, which was kind of cool, and it makes me kind of feel bad that that's the treatment that movie got.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the sci-fi Natalie Portman as a like physics PhD person, like a doctor of physics who's going and like using science to solve these problems, like that was cool conceptually. I feel like it just kind of got wasted.
I agree.
But they stop him and they take the ether to the Collector on Nowhere.
Yeah,
In Guardians of the Galaxy, where they're like, you're gonna hold on to this, and he's just like, how come you guys aren't gonna keep it? And in Avengers, Thor took the Tesseract back to Asgard. So they got it. And they go, because it's too dangerous to keep two Infinity Stones together. And that's kind of where you first get the name drop of the Infinity Stones.
Right.
Like, Thor the Dark World was such like a not good movie, but it's the one that like really is the linchpin in this whole fucking thing. And it's really annoying. What comes after Thor?
Winter Soldier? Or is it Iron Man 3?
I think it's Iron Man 3.
Okay.
Which is, again...
a waste.
Yeah. I don't think anything significant happens in
No.
Iron Man 3.
Just that he has...
I've never seen Iron Man 3.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not really missing out.
No.
It's kind of like...
Tony has a million suits.
Yeah, Tony is now obsessed because of the events of the Avengers. He's like, I want to make a suit to solve every problem possible because, like I said, he's suffering from that PTSD.
Oh, okay. Of
and,
Avengers.
Him and Pepper Potts are in a relationship, and it's kind of getting on the rocks because he's so obsessed with his suits.
Yeah.
At the same time, you have this Weasley guy from like the early 2000s who's now grown up to be like a really successful guy who created this. Oh, I don't remember what it's called.
Treatment. We can call it treatment.
Yeah, it's like a treatment that makes you functionally immortal. Like you can get your arm blown off and it'll grow back.
Yeah.
Ew.
But at the same time,
it's unstable.
Oh, this is the Mandarin one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's using this fake terrorist played by Ben Kingsley.
Yeah.
Pepper Potts get infected with it and it turns her into like a super woman.
It turns her into like a suit where they like can heat up, shoot fire basically, but they'll also explode if it doesn't work right. And he's parading Ben Kingsley around as a fake terrorist called the Mandarin.
Okay.
Turns out he's not.
Yeah.
And which I remember a lot of people really pissed off about that because the Mandarin's completely different in the comics.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not that. He's just some actor dope. And Tony destroys all the suits after they stop the bad guy. And there's this cool scene where he's jumping between different suits, and the suits are autonomously fighting. All the I wish I could remember what that treatment was called. It starts with an I. I keep wanting to say like incinerator or something. It doesn't matter.
Something heat. Something with heat.
Something heat. It's one of those things like the Rainbow Road. I'm gonna yell. We're gonna be sitting in Endgame later, and I'm gonna be like, "It's fucking this!" He destroys all the suits. Oh, the main thing though is that he fixes his heart.
That's right.
He fixes the.
They figure out a way to get everything out. Yeah.
He gets all the crud out of him.
So he doesn't have to have the.
He doesn't have to wear the whole arc reactor.
Inside.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then it's Winter Soldier because nothing else happens that is really relevant to anything. Then it's Winter Soldier.
Honestly, when you think about looking back on it, it gets kind of scary for the MCU with like this movie with Iron Man 3 and Thor 2. Like those two are kind of rocky. Like,
well, the Russo brothers saved it. in my opinion,
Oh, yeah?
because they're the ones that did Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
That's honestly
Civil War,
Okay.
Infinity War, and Endgame.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they're the ones that kind of
Yeah, they really
Yeah.
came in and
And then they
saved
had
that.
like Black Panther and
Oh, well, yeah, like those are like after though, because I think all of this kind of this like low key, not great peaks with Ultron,
Ultron was
because you get Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Winter Soldier, then Avengers 2.
Okay, so in Winter Soldier, you now are dealing with Captain America in the modern day because at the end of Captain America gets frozen and they unfreeze him in the future.
Yeah,
That's
60
how-
years after he went into the ice.
Right, so he's like, what's going on? I was frozen in the 40s and now I'm awake in the
Yeah.
2000s. So now he's working with S.H.I.E.L.D. and he's kind of running like the little Black Op things, stopping terrorists, stopping bad guys. Ever since Avengers, he's just kind of been around, right? And you find out that... Is this the one where the dad gets blown up? No, that's Civil War. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, his dad doesn't get blown up. He gets killed by Bucky.
Right, but there's an explosion. We'll get to it.
Okay.
I think, or is that Winter Soldier?
No.
Okay.
The Winter Soldier's where
Oh,
Captain
yeah.
America and Hydra becomes more prevalent.
This was a
Yeah.
cool concept
Yeah.
that I don't feel like it was wasted because like if you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that's kind of how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. goes, is like Hydra becomes this problem and you never know where they're going to pop up. It also
Gotcha.
becomes kind of a cop-out, but it was cool how those two things fit together. But you're dealing with, it turns out that Hydra has infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. and has pretty much since the late 40s.
Yeah, once S.H.I.E.L.D. was
Once-
created,
Right.
Hydra was created, well,
Hydra
inserted
infiltrated,
simultaneously, yeah.
Because of the Operation Paperclip where they brought all the scientists from Hydra to work on shit for S.H.I.E.L.D.
Exactly.
Oh, is this the Red Skull one?
No, that
that's
was
the
the
first
first
one.
one.
Okay.
This one is what happens in this one?
Well, Fury, the first mission is Natasha and Steve Rogers go and infiltrate the ship that is holding
Yeah.
people hostage, and Natasha's job is to download information off this because Fury suspects something else is going on within S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mm-hmm.
And the leader of Hydra at the time finds out about it and sends the Winter Soldier to take care of Fury. Fury gets away.
Oh, okay, that's right. So, spoilers for that. Bucky
Yeah.
Barnes, the Winter Soldier, who was also Captain America's best friend in the first movie,
Oh.
who dies.
Yeah.
You think he dies in the first movie by falling off a train.
Yeah.
And it turns out he didn't. He just lost an arm. They gave him this sick-ass robot arm. And they brainwashed him. Like the Russians brainwashed him or something.
Yeah, the Russians are Hydra, yeah.
Yeah.
Hydra Russians.
Hydra
same thing.
Russians.
Yeah.
They brainwash him and they're using him as like an assassin that every time they need someone to do a really hard job, they pull him out of deep freeze. And you later find out he killed like Tony Stark's parents and shit, but they freeze him, so that's why he's been alive for the past 50 years and hasn't aged at all, because they're only bringing him out for like a few days at a time.
Yeah.
He doesn't remember who Steve is, and it turns out he does this shit, and they're hunting him down because he tries to kill Fury. Fury gets to Captain America's apartment to tell him the shit's going down. He can't trust anybody.
Yep.
Hydra makes their move, and they're like, hey, everybody, S.H.I.E.L.D. It's kind of like if you had a flag that said S.H.I.E.L.D., and then it just fell off the wall,
Yeah.
and behind it was like a Hydra flag. And they're like, surprise! They basically go through, and I think they destroy S.H.I.E.L.D. This is where S.H.I.E.L.D. gets like wiped out.
Yeah, basically, because after the assassination attempt,
Yeah.
we've later find out, spoiler alert, on Fury, Steve goes in the next day and realizes something's wrong, and as he's escaping, that's when the Hydra
Right.
takeover occurs, because they want to have these 3 ships that could kill,
Oh,
have like the DNA analysis that can kill like the heroes of the world, the good people of the world.
What was that movie with where they can predict who's gonna do a crime?
Minority Report.
It's like they Minority Report people.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing was that we're building these helicarriers that could like shoot a single target and kill them based on this algorithm that would predict whether or not they would be a threat. And then it turns out, threat to Hydra.
Yep.
Not just like threat to people. And it's this whole thing. They have to stop them. They stop them. But in the process, S.H.I.E.L.D. gets destroyed.
Yeah.
So there's no more S.H.I.E.L.D. No more support on that end. Fury just kind of is like, I'm going to go dark for a while, guys. See you later. He leaves, and you also get introduced to like Falcon.
Yeah, that's
It's like Steve's new buddy.
yep.
Cool.
Best friend.
New best friend.
New best friend.
Oh man, my new best friend, my old best friend, my old best friend's evil. What? Got yourself a movie. Then we get Avengers 2.
Yes.
Age of Ultron, which is like, if you get the chance, go ahead and pause this podcast for a minute. Go watch the trailer for Age of Ultron. In hindsight, it's the most disappointing movie I think of the bunch because its trailer is fucking awesome.
Yeah, especially when they
remember-
play the
They play
I
the
got no
Pinocchio
strings on
thing.
me.
Yeah.
That was
It was. I remember someone pointed this out once, and I watched it again just years after seeing the second one. It's creepy as hell.
Yeah.
You're presented with James Spader as
Yeah.
Ultron. It's like he's doing a great job, and it's just like, man, this is creepy. This is gonna be like this insane robot that wants to kill everybody.
Yeah.
And then the actual movie comes out, and it's just totally not that. It's like
Yeah.
a snarky robot that's kind of like an evil Tony Stark
exactly.
who wants to drop a city as a meteor to wipe out all life on Earth. I kind of wish they did more of a Terminator angle with that. Like, I wish Ultron was like, I'm going to make a bunch of me so that we can all just go kill humans. Like, kill all humans. Do it that way. Like, dropping Sokovia on the Earth just seems kind of weird. I mean, it sounds easier to just bring a real asteroid.
And then they introduced the Scarlet Witch in this one.
That's right. They
And
introduced
her
Scarlet
brother.
Witch and her brother Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who are not...
And Vision.
And Vision.
With the,
None of whom, especially Vision, is a child of Magneto like they're supposed to be in this movie.
Yes.
Oh, they
In
are?
the comics,
In the
Scarlet
comics.
Witch and
Oh.
Quicksilver are Magneto's son and daughter.
Oh, that's right.
They're also mutants. They're not this
Yeah.
weird thing because
Which
they're
is-
created.
X-Men Quicksilver. I think
Better.
much better.
Much better.
Even though he
Oh,
really
so in
need-
this world you have
get a chance.
mutants as well?
No, see that's
Not
in the
MCU,
comics.
no.
In the comics, it's all the same world,
Yeah.
Okay.
sort of. But yeah, so you have the X-Men and the Avengers are all doing their thing, and like you have people who are mutants, and you have people who are metahumans, and you have people who are whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're mutants.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you introduce them. They're created by Loki's scepter that he was given in Avengers to go destroy people. Turns out inside the scepter is the the Mind Stone.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Mind Infinity Stone.
Yep.
And that's how he was able to use it to take over Hawkeye and things. By the way, Hawkeye's in these movies.
Oh yeah, sorry guys.
Haven't really had a need to mention him at
Yeah.
all yet. We will, but not yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, the mind gem's in there. Ultron wants the mind gem and this fancy machine that this Korean doctor woman created that can heal you.
Or regenerate, or basically create something from nothing, kind of.
Because they make a really big point. I
Yeah.
think it's because it's just they wanted to shoot in Korea.
Yeah.
They make a really big point and be like, this woman's from Korea. She invented this like cradle thing, I think is what they call it, where it'll stitch you up.
Cradle
So,
Life, I think. they
Cradle
actually
of
call it.
Life.
Yeah.
I think you're thinking
Angelina Jolie and Tomb
Yeah,
Raider 2.
Yeah.
Raider
Tomb Raider Life.
expanded universe Tomb Raider 2. No. It's this thing where like if you like so it's kind of like that Iron Man 3 thing is like if you get your leg blown off, you could lay down in this cradle and it'll fix you up in a few minutes using it's like a 3D printer for your body.
Fifth Element. Is
Yeah,
probably the
that's a
closest thing.
perfect
That's
one.
That's a much
Fifth
better
Element. It's like
analogy
Fifth
there.
Element.
Yeah.
The thing in the beginning of Fifth Element that makes Lilu.
Yeah.
So Ultron wants to use that in order to make himself a new super awesome body that's not limited, that's made out of vibranium.
Vibranium.
This is where you also get kind of name drops of Wakanda.
Yes, because of Andy Serkis's character too.
Who does great in all the movies that he's in.
He does.
He's doing a really great job with that character. He's the only guy to ever make it out of Wakanda alive, and he stole a bunch of vibranium with him. Ultron wants to use it to make himself a vibranium body with the Soul Stone Mind Stone inside, and I don't know. He's like indestructible.
Oh,
He's super powerful.
that battle when they find out that he's trying to get vibranium is a little important because the Scarlet Witch influences each of the Avenger
that's right.
characters
Oh.
with
That's
right.
fearful thoughts
Yeah.
like everyone dies on Asgard because Thor couldn't save them.
Yeah,
Steve
that's
can never
right.
dance again with
Yeah,
Peggy.
yeah. Earlier, she does. She whammies Tony.
She whammies Tony with the end of the world.
whales
Everyone's
and-
dying.
yeah,
Why didn't you
and,
do
yeah,
enough? Yeah.
Everyone's dying. And
Yep.
he has that survival's guilt.
Yep.
Survivor's
Yeah.
guilt.
And the only one she doesn't affect is Hawkeye
Hawkeye.
because he was controlled in the Mind Stone already.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oof.
And
Yeah, everybody freaks out because I think what
Black Widow is
she's got
flashbacks of when she kind of
training or whatever
was made.
Oh, that's right. She made a they what's it called? They made her infertile.
Yeah, basically hysterectomy, but in the worst way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean that movie's whatever. They make the Vision. So Ultron gets the cradle. He's turning it on. He's making himself a new body. He's like, I'm gonna download my brain in there. And he starts downloading, and they kind of stop him and steal the cradle. Thor goes on a side quest to have this Vision quest thing of people. Idris Elba tells him stuff.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he realizes what's going. Finally, one of our main characters figures out, oh shit, the Infinity Stones. Thor comes in, uses his hammer, zaps the Vision's little life cradle thing.
Yeah.
Brings Vision to life. Everyone's like, oh fuck, what are you doing? Because oh yeah, by the way, Tony Stark and Bruce Banner created Ultron to be like a protector of the planet, an autonomous protector of the planet.
Yeah.
Fucked that one up good.
Yeah.
Well,
so
didn't the Hulk say not to do it?
He's just kind of like not.
He just gets easily influenced
Yeah.
by what Tony wants to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
No, agreed.
But then they make Vision, who is what
They make Vision.
Ultron was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But like times 10, because I mean, they keep saying you're what Ultron was supposed to be. It's like, no, he's got the fucking Mind Stone in his head. You guys never
Yeah.
thought about putting that in.
Yeah.
The dude. So you get Vision, played by the guy who does Jarvis.
Paul.
Bettany.
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 Yes. Paul,
Yeah.
who, future episode probably. Solo Star Wars story.
Oh, he's in that. That's right.
He is in that, and he does real damn good in that movie. Like, for someone who was told a few years before, like, your career's over, this guy's killing it in some of these roles.
Yeah, he had a resurgence, probably due to Vision.
Due to Vision,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's just like, yeah, no, stay tuned for that one. Solo Star Wars story. Surprisingly good movie, and Paul Bettany is a treat in that film. Totally. More than probably almost everybody else. Except Donald Glover does a fantastic Lando Calrissian.
Oh.
Anyway.
Figure.
Yeah, so you get Vision, they fight Ultron. In the process of fighting, Ultron's plan is to lift this fake Eastern European city up into the sky, drop it like an asteroid, and wipe out life on Earth and rebuild it in his own image.
Yes, in a way.
It's more or less what the goal is there. Because he figures that the biggest threat to Earth is people. And so if you wipe out people, there's no more threat.
Hint,
Cool.
hint.
Whatever. Yeah.
Thanos.
Yeah.
You know.
Foreshadowing there. They stop him. Vision I'm still holding on as Vision seemingly destroys the last Ultron bot. But all there is a flash, and then everyone disappears. So I don't know what he did with it.
Yeah.
That was a long train of like, did he actually destroy Ultron? Because Vision's sort of on this like, I am a true neutral. I fight for life. It just so happens that the Avengers want to stop someone from killing all life, so I'll help them. And thus begins Vision. They save the planet. Quicksilver dies.
Quicksilver dies saving someone.
Yep.
Saving a
Scarlet
kid.
Witch lives.
Yep.
You get a dose of how powerful she is.
Yeah.
That's
And end of that funny little part is Captain America has everyone ready, and he says, Avengers, and they cut it off.
Oh, yeah, he's about to say Avengers Assemble, and then everybody's like, dunk, turn that off. You're not going to get to say it. We're not going to give people that.
So did Civil War happen?
No,
Or
Guardians
happened. Okay.
One of the best. We went from like that really crappy train to like one of the best
Yeah.
Marvel movies. in
Thank
my
you, James
opinion.
Gunn.
Thank you, James Gunn. Welcome back. Thanks for not leaving.
Yeah.
Oh, man, we get Guardians of the Galaxy.
This is the main again. Infinity Stone was the main introduction here, and then
We get the Power Stone.
the Power Stone. Correct.
Right, so Guardians of the Galaxy 1. We already explained the beginning. Baby Chris Pratt gets taken up into space. Amber, you remember what happened in Guardians 1?
Yeah, he gets taken by the bandits.
Yeah, what?
By
Ravagers.
Ravagers.
I keep wanting to call
Ravagers.
them Reavers, like in
Ravagers.
Firefly.
And the dad-like figure. What's
Yondu.
Yondu Undando.
Yeah.
Yondu?
Yeah, Yondu.
Yondu.
Played by
Michael Rooker.
Yeah,
Michael
so
Rooker.
they're going on this mission basically to retrieve what is the
the Power Stone.
Power Stone.
Yeah.
And Quill tricks them, of course. and he's like, I'm just gonna
that's
get this
right.
for myself.
You remember this much
And-
better than I do. I don't remember the beginning. of
Okay,
the movie.
so he does this little dance and then like retrieves the Power Stone,
Yeah.
and he who comes in?
Dijon
It's
Himansu.
Thanos'
yeah.
people, right?
No,
So
it's
it's
through...
the Kree. So this is the actual
Okay.
introduction of the Kree.
Right.
Yeah.
It's this renegade sort of extremist terrorist played by Lee Pace. I don't remember his name.
Rhaegar?
That is Game of Thrones.
right.
No, it's fuck if I remember. They
Yeah,
say
no.
it's so
Yeah, they do.
I know.
It's something the Destroyer
Yeah.
is his name.
Oh, well.
Lee Pace. It's easier to remember.
Yeah.
I swear, we're gonna be sitting in the theater. I'm gonna be yelling like 6 different things because it's all gonna remind me at the end of the fucking movie.
But anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's,
His guy comes. You said
Dijon Himansu, Blood
Yeah.
Diamond, great
Yeah.
actor, great
Yeah.
actor. I kind of...
He's in a lot of things as that like sort of second fiddle
He is.
tough guy. He does a good job in it.
He does.
Keep on doing that. Yeah, he comes and he tries to stop.
yeah. But
Quill.
Quill gets
Yeah.
away,
Yep.
and then
Oh, but it's an orb, wasn't it? It's just like a ball.
yes, but
It's
it's,
like in a
inside,
ball,
but he doesn't
but
know
you
how to
don't know-
open
you
it.
don't know that
so
yet.
he
Yeah,
has to
yeah.
go to this, not the
trying to-
collector, but like someone
trying to
like
fence it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's trying to like sell it off, and they're like, no,
Ronan.
like, I don't.
Ronan.
It's Ronan the Accuser.
And he mentions, I think he mentions Ronan, or he doesn't say the name, but he says,
No,
like,
he does say it. He says,
Okay.
yeah, Ronan.
And the guy was just like, I don't want it anymore. Like, get out.
Oh, that's
He's on
also
the planet Nova.
And then
right.
this is
he's
where
on
he meets.
Xandar,
Xandar.
which
Yeah.
is like the Nova
Right.
capital.
Yep. And this is where he meets Gamora because
Right.
she's trying to retrieve.
Who
the-
Thanos had already. Isn't there an earlier scene where Ronan's like, sorry, bro, I fucked up? And
Yeah.
Thanos is like, I'll just send one of my own guys to do it. And he sends Gamora instead of Nebula.
Yeah.
So Zoe Saladina, Gamora, and
Yeah.
Karen Gillian, Nebula. They send Zoe Saladina's character to go retrieve the orb because they're all like, we want the orb, we want the orb. And I don't think you know quite what the orb is yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just know everybody wants it.
Yeah. And
You're
then-
also introduced to Rocket Raccoon, played
Yeah,
by Bradley
and
Cooper,
Groot.
and Groot, played by Vin Diesel.
Yep.
In that
Because they're all
Xandar
trying to.
scene.
Yeah.
You also get, I feel almost bad that we keep forgetting this. Rest in peace, Stan Lee's cameos throughout all of these movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get one of his cameos where he's hitting on this lady. and,
Yeah. And Rocket's just
Raccoon
like.
shames him for it.
Yeah. He's like, you're not cool, old
Look at this
man.
creepy
Yeah.
old man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Rest in peace, Stan Lee.
But then they all get taken in by the.
Nova Corps, right?
Nova Corps.
Yeah, Nova Corps, like these. I think the closest equivalent would be like their Green Lanterns of the Marvel universe, sort of, kind of. They're supposed. That's what they are in the comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, and I guess in this, they're also this sort
Yeah.
of pseudo confederacy
Yeah.
of
And
planets.
is it Glenn Close? That's
Glenn
The
Close
Close
is the leader of the
Yeah.
Nova.
And Peter, I forget his last name, but he plays such a great part.
And then
And
you
then
also
John
have the
C.
guy
Reilly.
from,
John
yeah,
C.
from
Riley,
Step
and he does a
Brothers.
good job in this.
Yeah.
It's like, I often forget that John C. Riley is good at other roles besides comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a very good actor.
Yeah.
But yes, so you get everybody gets captured and they get sent to prison,
Yep.
right?
And this
The
is where
Gamora
they
and
meet
everybody.
that other guy,
Drax.
Drax.
Yeah.
Drax the Destroyer, Ronan the Accuser.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Ronan the Accuser? Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
Ronan
right,
the
yeah.
Accuser.
Yeah.
That's what they I don't know
And
what that
Drax
means.
wants to kill Gamora because she's Thanos'
Right.
daughter, and
Yeah.
Thanos killed his
Boy,
family.
Drax just has like a family tree of people. It's like, he wants to kill Ronan because Ronan wiped out his planet
Yeah.
or killed his daughter and his
Killed
wife.
his
He's like
family
the
somehow.
Arya from.
But it gets so much. It's so convoluted because he's just like, I want to kill Ronan because Ronan did that thing, and then it's like, I want to kill Gamora because Gamora works for Ronan. Sort of. It's like loaned
Yeah.
to Ronan.
Yeah.
I want
And
to kill
then
Thanos because
Thanos is
Ronan-
the head due to the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
thing. It's like, oh, it was really Thanos' fault.
Yeah.
Let's kill Thanos. It's like,
Yeah.
And Drax, played perfectly by David Bautista,
Yeah.
who
Is
kind of
this-
made that great leap
oh
into
my god.
movies with this. I mean, he's starting other things, but this was his.
But it was
perfect
always
leap.
that tough, I'm just kind
Yeah.
of here to punch people
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, that's more or less why he's here in this movie too. But he's such, and I mean the second one too, he's such a great,
Yeah.
he's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
And it's just
'cause
not forced.
Yeah.
He
Funny,
just-
His
funny
player,
little
or
tidbit.
character
Yeah.
doesn't
Jason
get stuff.
Momoa was originally wanted for the role of Drax.
No. Get that shit out of here.
No.
Get out of here.
He belonged to DC with the rest of the
Great.
trash.
But like
Yeah.
Jason Momoa's great. Don't get me wrong, he's a great actor. I just at this point, I can't see it.
No,
I just
you can't. No, you
Physically
can't.
cannot
No.
see him doing it.
Yeah.
He's
And-
not a great actor.
I think he's a good actor. Jason Momoa?
Okay, he's all right, but I guess I'm thinking.
Did you ever watch Stargate
Aquaman
Atlantis? He's in
No.
that. He's in that. He's good.
No.
Problem is, like, he kind of bros everything up.
He does.
He does.
And it just would be like Drax's bro. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
anyway, getting back to
Anyway.
Batista, perfect role, perfect acting,
Yeah.
Yep.
They all
so casual.
And so
They
they
all
all
get
decide to
together.
break out of prison, and Groot does this whole thing. Wait, does
No,
he?
no, no, that's not
that's
there.
not the
That's
part.
the
Sorry,
end.
Rocket does this whole thing.
Rocket does
Yeah.
the whole
Yes,
techno thing.
Yeah,
You kind of get everybody's roles. Like, Quill's the leader. Gamora's like the first mate.
Rocket
person.
steals the fucking
Rocket's your
arm,
tech guy.
or the
Groot's
leg.
Groot
Yeah.
and Drax are your strong guys. Like, you kind of get everybody's roles, and they're like all shady. They get the orb, and they get the Walkman, and they get the hell out of there.
they go to a bar.
They go to
Nowhere, right?
Nowhere
Yeah.
with a K, silent K, Nowhere, which is the head of, I think they call it a celestial.
Being, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is being actively mined out by something called the Tavan Corporation, the head of which is something Tavan, the Collector. Gamora's whole plan was to double-cross Thanos, take the orb, bring it to the Collector, make a fuck ton of money, and just go
Peace
ghost.
out.
Yeah.
Just get out of there, run away, and be gone and done
Yeah.
with it. So they're like, we'll get so much fucking money, we'll just split it between everybody, and we'll all do
Yeah.
whatever we want. So they take the orb to the Collector, played by Benicio del Toro. Does a pretty good job with that.
He does.
It's Benicio del Toro. He's going all in. I mean, he just does.
yeah. But
They
then they all get fucked because that one girl, like the maid or whatever, she decides to touch it, and it
Oh yeah, they
obliterates her.
open the orb and you see the
Yeah.
purple power stone.
Yeah. But you
And-
can't touch it.
No, you can't touch it unless you're strong enough to touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever movie. The girl who's like a slave to the Collector grabs it and is kind of like, it's better to die than be a slave to you. And
No,
then
she wants to
explodes.
use it to like.
Well, she's gonna try to
Yeah.
kill him.
Yeah.
And it's sort of, it seemed always to me that it's like implied, if I die in this, it's better than it, and like not. So she
Yeah.
explodes and like destroys everything. Also, well, it's later, but the fucking post credits shit where you had Howard the Duck in
Yeah.
a cell,
Yeah.
like a CGI'd Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That went a little over.
We
And-
don't
but at
need
the
that.
same time, they're trying to sell the stone to the Collector.
Yeah.
Batista's Drax calls in Ronan because he wants
This
his
is where they
vengeance.
go to the bar.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
go to the bar, they get drunk, Drax gets pissed off at Rocket, storms off,
Yeah.
and makes like a drunk fucking phone call to his ex-girlfriend Ronan, and is like, bitch, come at me. I'm here.
Yeah. And whereas the other guys are like, this is like more than we can handle. We can't sell this to the Collector. This is
Right,
dangerous.
right.
Like, we need to give it to Nova Corps.
Yeah, let's go back to Xandar and give it
Yeah.
to the Nova Corps. Ronan comes, and they're like, the fuck, Drax. They fight it out. Ronan gets the Power Stone.
Yeah.
Sticks it into his hammer, which seems like kind of a cop-out for the whole, you can't hold
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah,
if you just
exactly.
have a medium in between, you're okay. Which I guess when you think about it, that's like an Infinity Gauntlet teaser. It's like, you
Yeah.
can't hold all these gems or stones,
Oh,
but like
but
You
if
need
you have
something to,
something
yeah.
to act
And
as
he was
a
like the
meteor.
first one to kind of do that, like
Yeah.
to just
He
well,
smashes
besides
it into
Vision,
his
I guess,
hammer,
but
and he has all that
yeah.
power. And so now Ronan's a threat, and he's like, I'm going to go destroy Xandar because I believe that Xandar has, like, crippled my people because they had a war. The Kree and the Xandar, or the Nova Corps and the Kree had a war, and they
Yeah.
kind of ended on an armistice. And
Plus, the
Ronan's
Kree aren't
like,
going to do
"Eh."
shit to him.
Yeah, the proper Kree government is like, we don't really care that he does this, but, like, we're not going to support him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they have to rush back to Xandar to save the day. They team up with Yondu.
Ravagers, yep.
Yeah.
The Ravagers. They team up with them and get all their ships. All these pirates are with them again. and
Yeah.
They go back to Xandar and they have this fight, which someone pointed out is the video game Space Invader.
In a way, yeah.
They
I do see
sit
that.
on the ground and shoot up at
Yep.
the alien ships that come
Oh,
down.
yeah.
Yeah, they just play this giant game of Space Invaders, and they have this whole plan, and that's where you get the scene where Groot sacrifices himself. He makes the
Yeah.
little,
Because they're on the
wood
ship.
ball.
Yeah.
They try to crash the ship. They have this whole plan to blow up
Yeah.
Ronan. Doesn't quite work. The ship's going down. It crashes.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing is if Ronan can land, if he can get himself on the planet, he can just smash his hammer on the ground and it'll destroy
Yeah.
the planet.
Yep.
Much like the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yep. If he gets his hand closed and snaps, everything's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
So they get down. They have a dance off to distract him.
Terrific.
Such a
scene. Yeah,
great
yeah, such
way
a-
it goes
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quill just starts dancing to Ooh Child,
Yeah.
and he's just like, the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, but then Rocket launches,
shoots the
yeah,
missile.
shoots the missile.
It blows up the hammer. Quill grabs the Infinity Stone before Ronan can.
Yep.
Everybody holds hands. They kind of balance the power between themselves. They destroy Ronan, seal up the gem or stone, and then Xandar locks it up.
Yep.
They trick Yondu into thinking he gave it to him inside the little troll doll.
Yeah.
Xandar now has the Power Stone. The Guardians are let go because they did such a good job.
Yeah, we realize Quill has...
He's not quite human.
Yeah,
He's
half
got something else in him.
Yeah.
Glenn Close is like, something else is inside you, bud. And he's like, oh, shit, for real? I'll figure that out next time.
Civil War?
I think so.
Yeah.
'Cause there's no more sequel ones, I think, from here on out, right?
Mm,
Civil War is a Captain America
Guardians.
sequel.
Yeah, Guardians 2.
Guardians
though.
2 comes after that, though.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you get Civil War, where it's not quite the Civil War from the comics, but I wouldn't know how you do that anyway.
Yeah.
So, basically, after the events of Age of Ultron, you have...
The Avengers trying to save the world and keep it peaceful.
Oh, that's right. You have...
Basically.
They're kind of fucking shit up.
Yeah.
And they're running without any kind of oversight, and they blow up a building in like South Africa or something when they're hunting this terrorist guy down, and it's just like causing more problems than actually saving people, and so everyone's really pissed off. And the UN introduces something known as the Sokovia Accords, and they say, basically, you guys sign this, and the UN will tell you where you can go and what you can do. You get a split where Captain America's not about that, and so are a couple other Avengers, and Tony Stark, still kind of going on that PTSD train, is like, he gets confronted by a woman who's like, my son was doing charity work in Sokovia when you and your assholes came to save it, and you killed him.
Yeah.
Like, he died because of you. And so he's just like, we need to be reined in. We are operating without any kind of oversight. We're killing innocent people. Like, we cannot function like this. Captain America's like, no, we need to just be able to save people, and and you the whole time you have the villain whose name escapes me.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's kind of orchestrating.
Someone just sets up
this.
someone. Yeah.
He's setting up all this stuff to tear the Avengers apart. One of those things is to assassinate the then King of Wakanda, Chadwick Boseman's father, T'Chaka, I think, King T'Chaka, while that's his UN son.
Yeah.
Yeah. Frames
Yeah,
the Winter Soldier.
The Winter Soldier, who's been like MIA since the events of Winter Soldier.
Yep.
And everyone's just like, as he's gone, they frame him, they find him, they figure out he didn't do it, but they can't quite prove who did. So it becomes Captain America saying, I want to be with my friend more than I want to do the Avengers thing. I'm going to protect him. You get Iron Man's group, which is like Iron Man, Black Widow for a little while, War Machine,
Vision.
I don't think Scarlet Witch is on his side. No. But what we do get in this movie that was like probably one of the higher points in the movie is you get the first intro of Spider-Man played by Tom Holland.
And Ant-Man.
No, Ant-Man. Oh, Ant-Man already. We forgot Ant-Man.
Sorry, guys. Ant-Man. You know, we know what happens in Ant-Man.
Ant-Man has nothing to do with anything. He gets tiny and it introduces Ant-Man. That's what Ant-Man does. It's a good movie, but it's not anything.
Paul Rudd does a good job.
Yeah.
He does do a good job. Second one of those, I don't know how I feel about it, but
yeah,
you know, whatever. Yeah, so you get everybody is like teamed up. Captain America, I think, is like him, Bucky, Ant-Man, Scarlet Witch,
Hawkeye.
Oh, Falcon is on his team.
Falcon's
too.
on team.
And yeah, so you get them kind of fight it out in an airport. Black Panther's on Tony's team. That's who it is.
That's right. Yeah.
He's there. That's the other person. They fight it out. You know, they're basically chasing each other around the world, trying to stop each other and get, you know, everybody to get reined in and like, guys, stop! You're going to be arrested. We have to take you in. And then Captain America's like, no, man, there's something else going on. And then they go to like Siberia, where they find out that the Russians somehow made like 4 other super soldiers.
Yeah.
That were like Bucky. And they were basically trying to brainwash them and use them as assassins. You also find out that at some point in like the 90s, Hydra used Bucky to assassinate Tony Stark's parents.
Yeah.
If they didn't actually die in a car, it was a car crash, but like he killed them and took some information of some kind. I don't remember what it was. So you have this like freak out where Tony Stark's like, you son of a bitch, you killed my fucking parents. I'm going to kill you, because it turns out his parents were part of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
And they fight. And it becomes Captain America and Winter Soldier versus Iron Man.
Yep.
Which is a pretty cool scene. I mean, like, it's a cool sequence. And when you think about it, it's kind of crazy how Iron Man can hold his own against these two dudes. The main bad guy had killed all of the other super soldiers who were frozen in this facility because he's like, they think he wants to use them. And then he's like, do you really think I want, like, a freak like you to be more people like you freaks running around the world? Like, turns out his family also died in the Sokovia attack. And he just wants to destroy the Avengers as a result. Black Panther doesn't kill him, arrests him because Black Panther's hunting him down. He's like, you killed my father, prepare to die.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, it ends with everybody goes to prison except Captain America and Bucky.
Yeah, who retreat.
Who
But
retreat,
before that,
and then they break everybody out.
yeah.
Sort of.
But then Tony's like, you don't deserve the.
You don't deserve that shield.
Yeah, and he loses the
because
shield.
Howard Stark, Tony's father,
father,
made the shield in
yeah.
the first place.
Yeah.
And so he's like, you're right, leaves the shield behind, dips out. Because they beat Iron Man.
Yeah.
Together they beat Iron Man. And Captain
Yeah.
America leaves him a cell phone, like a burner phone. It's like, if you ever need me, call me. You know, you're going to probably need us, so whatever.
Yep.
And he breaks, you know, Scarlet Witch and Hawkeye and Ant-Man, gets them all out of prison. But I think it's implied that Hawkeye and Ant-Man stay and just take a deal.
Yeah, they're on
in a later
probation.
movie.
Yeah.
Everybody else gets out and runs off with Captain America, and they just kind of are running around the planet hiding from the newly reorganized SHIELD / American government.
Yeah, something like
Something
that.
like that.
Run by War Machine, I think, is the one that.
No, it's by that older gentleman.
Well, General Ross is in charge, but I think
Yeah.
War Machine's like the boots on the ground for
Yeah,
it. But he
yeah.
doesn't really try to search for them.
No,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, well, the leftover Avengers are just going to keep it quiet. Like,
Yeah.
we're looking for him, haven't found him yet. Anyway, we're going to do this other thing. And
Yeah.
you get all that mess happening. Then you get Guardians 2.
Or is
Yeah.
it Doctor Strange?
Oh, shit. I forgot about Doctor Strange. That movie's good.
Yeah,
I like
it
that one a
is.
lot. I think you do get Doctor Strange.
Where is Doctor Strange, though?
Doctor Strange. Basically, you have Benedict Cumberbatch,
Yep.
who plays Dr. Stephen Strange.
Yeah, but where
who
is it in the timeline?
I think it's next. I think it comes next, and that's Guardians 2. Or it's Guardians 2, and then...
No, I think it's Strange, then Guardians 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, in reality, the timeline, a lot of this stuff's happening at the same time as other
Yeah.
shit. But next up, I guess, in both movie order chronologically, you have Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is a really gifted surgeon.
Neurosurgeon.
Who is really cocky as hell.
Yeah.
And, you know...
Egotistical, like Tony Stark.
Yep,
Yeah.
Yep. And it just shows the horrors of texting and driving. He's
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
at X-rays.
Right after he was just
Yeah.
like, I need my hands to
Mhm.
work. And it's like, no, you don't. Like,
He's in his super fancy car driving stupid fast in the rain around bends in, like, upstate New York somewhere.
Yeah.
And he's...
Yeah, Peekskill, Route 9. I've been through those roads.
and then,
Patrick is also the Sorcerer Supreme,
Yeah.
by the way. Little does anyone on this podcast know. But yeah, he's like reading fucking X-rays
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
this, you know, case that might make his career a little bit that much better, even though he's making millions and millions of dollars. So he flies off the road, smashes his hands in this car accident by falling off a cliff. He's on his way to some reception or some gala or some shit. Smashes, destroys his hands, and just becomes one of those like bitter people who lost everything, and he's dumping money on money to try to get his hands fixed. And the whole bitter irony is he's sitting there going like, I could have fixed my hands. Instead, like some hack fixed my hands, and now they're ruined, and I can't do surgery because I got the shakes. And I can't, like, make a fist anymore, and it's just this awful fucking shit. He goes through all this stuff, spends all this money, is, like, pretty much broke, learns about this guy who lost use of his legs, went to
Kathmandu.
Timbuktu or something.
Kathmandu, or Timbuktu, Kathmandu, something
Yeah.
like that.
Nepal.
You went that region of the world to find, and I don't remember what the place is called, but, to find these people that will fix him.
Yep.
And so Benedict Cumberbatch is like, oh, it's like Asia. It's like rural Asia. They probably have
It's
less
almost
laws.
very much like Batman Begins.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
a
like
good
Batman
point.
Begins with a little bit more tragedy as far as like physical limitations go.
Yeah.
He goes there, spends every last dime to get there to figure out what the fuck's up because the guy's like, sort of kind of used magic to fix me. And he's like, that's bullshit. They must have had something. though."
Yeah.
Goes and he meets
The
The
ancient
ancient
one.
one.
the Ancient One.
Yeah.
And her...
A lot of controversy on that
Yeah,
casting.
a lot of
Yeah.
controversy on that casting. Who played it?
Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton, that's her name.
Yeah.
Yeah. She plays the Ancient One. Stephen Strange basically says, okay, fine, you know what? I got nothing left. Fuck it. So he hangs out with them in their monastery after, they test him and things to learn the mystic arts from Tilda Swinton and the librarian guy.
Wong, and then the other guy who ends up leaving.
The other guy ends up...
Ejiofor?
Yeah, Ejiofor, something like that.
Yeah.
He learns from these guys. Yeah. All the main characters of the movie. Where at the same time you had Mads Mikkelsen, I think, is the one who did it. Yeah. Mads Mikkelsen, who went and stole this page out of one of the restricted books.
Yeah.
And it teaches you how to commune and use these dark powers of Mephisto? No. Who's the bad? Dormammu. Yeah. Some of these dark powers of Dormammu make you live forever.
Yeah.
And Stephen Strange is really good student because he's got the photographic memory and all this shit. He learns how to do it.
And he tries to get into the restricted area and learn about that. Mm-hmm. And then the Ancient One kind of catches him and is just stop doing this because this is the reason why we're learning the mystic arts, and it's Dormammu.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And because he's really infatuated with the thing that she wears, which happens to be the
time stone.
Yeah, the time stone.
The Eye of Agamotto is this little object that allows you to manipulate time. And inside is this nice shiny green time stone, infinity stone thing. He starts fucking around with it, and he's playing around. It starts fucking up time, and they're just like, "What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Fucking with this shit! Stop it!" And then over the course of it turns out the Ancient One has been using the dark powers in order to keep yourself alive, to make sure that everything keeps going. And then they're fighting Mads Mikkelsen, who wants to bring Dormammu allow Dormammu basically to eat Earth, and they're under this impression that we'll live forever with Dormammu because no time doesn't exist there.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns no, actually he's going to destroy it. It's going to be kind of going to hell. And they're doing this, and the nice thing I thought was really refreshing about that movie was that Doctor Strange was I don't want to kill anybody to the point where I'm going to go out of my way to not kill anybody.
Yeah.
As opposed to all these other movies where it's blow them up, kill them all. It's just whatever, we're fighting them. And so he comes up with a clever idea at the end of that movie to go... Ancient One gets killed.
Yeah, and then all of the beacons of light basically have fallen to the darkness, and it ends with them in, is it Korea?
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. And he's with Wong. He's with Wong, and he uses it to basically stop
everything.
Yeah, stop everything. Go back to Dormammu. I don't know how he gets to Dormammu.
He stops. They open this portal. Dormammu's coming. Yeah. Because the last sanctum gets destroyed in Hong Kong. So he rewinds time to where the sanctum's not destroyed.
Yeah.
Goes to Dormammu's world because they teach him how to open portals and shit. Goes to Dormammu's world, and this is where you get...
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
We get to Dormammu's world. He says the line, Dormammu, come to bargain. And he basically uses the time stone to make kind of a loop. And Dormammu's like, the fuck, I killed you. And he keeps killing him over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And he's like, what is this? And he's like, I stuck us in time loops. You can keep killing me forever, or you can just do what I want and I'll take it away. And Dormammu's like, God damn it, fine.
Yeah.
I won't destroy Earth. I'll leave you alone. I'll take Mads Mikkelsen and all his goons back here and destroy them. Just please let me out of this fucking thing. Lets him out. Stephen Strange becomes a Sorcerer Supreme since the Ancient One's gone and there's nobody left. He lives in New York and kind of runs that sanctum. He doesn't go back to being a doctor.
Yeah.
And I think the stinger for that is we get the teaser for Thor Ragnarok, where Thor is sitting with them drinking beer, asking where's Loki? Or where's Odin? Something like that. That was a good one. You're going to introduce Time Stone. They're we got to protect the Time Stone. It's a job. Yeah. It's the one job we have. Then you get Guardians 2.
Yes.
Where you find out Quill's origins.
Quill's a celestial being.
Celestial being who is the son of Kurt Russell.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
From The Thing, right?
Ego.
Yeah.
Ego. Yeah, from The Thing.
Yes.
This sort of kind of god-like being, and that's why he was able to hold the Power Stone.
Yeah.
You get this was on in a bar we were in the other night on TV.
Yeah.
And I think one of my favorite lines is they're protecting these batteries or whatever the hell it is in the beginning of the movie. And Drax looks at Peter Quill and he goes, what are these things called again? And he goes, they're called Arjulax batteries.
That's right.
And then Drax just goes, Carbulary batteries.
He's like,
that doesn't sound anything like what I just said. Drax is like, that's him the whole movie. It's like this fucking joke the entire time.
That movie was pretty creepy, though.
It got really dark.
Yeah,
so
like...
it turns out, we'll just go into, they meet Ego, they go to his planet, he's like, hey, let me be your dad. And of course, that's also sort of separating the
core
Guardians.
team.
Yeah, they're all broken up, they're all mad at each other. Groot's also a kid. He's like a little kid.
Oh, yeah.
He grew up.
He's like a baby.
He survived Guardians 1, but he was like a baby.
Yeah.
So you got these gold people chasing him, you got Yondu kind of chasing him. Yondu's people turn on Yondu, and they're gonna kill him.
Featured by Sly Stallone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the main guy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Sylvester Stallone's in there.
Yeah.
That's right.
He plays Yondu's father figure.
Yeah.
Unnecessary. But it's cool.
Yeah.
So you get Kurt Russell takes them all back to his planet, which is also him.
Yes.
And it turns out he's been seeding the galaxy in more ways than one. He's been dropping these little plants on other planets that will ultimately grow and just kind of become extensions of himself, while also going on like this weird galactic sex tourism thing.
Yeah.
Where he's fucking anything that moves, and he's just like, I'm gonna make all these little like half versions of me, so that I essentially have like.
But
batteries.
none of them worked. And
none of them
just seeing that, like when they went in the cave, and all those like skeletons,
Yeah.
I was like, my God,
Yeah.
how many times this man had to have sex?
Got it on
Yeah.
for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Because it's a mountain of skulls.
It
a
is.
mountain of fucking skulls. It turns out that he's having all these half children to double up his power and make these little seeds he left on the planets grow.
To take over the planets?
Right, so he can become the galaxy or whatever.
Yeah.
And everyone else like didn't work. Turns out he's been kind of given the same spiel to everybody. But once he heard that Peter Quill was able to harness the power of the Power Stone, he was like, shit, that's the guy. He brainwashes Peter, and then he drops that he killed his mom by putting a tumor in her brain. Snaps Peter right out of it, and we get a superpowered fight.
Yeah, we're pretty good.
We're pretty good. You get
And then Yondu's there.
Oh, that stuff is... That ending with Yondu.
Yeah.
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 Because Yondu's there, and you get that scene where he's like, what? He might be your father, but he ain't your daddy, or whatever the hell he says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Mary Poppins bit.
Oh, yeah.
I
Using the
love
arrow to
that
come
part.
down. Yeah. Because Yondu, Rocket, and Groot break out of the Ravager's place.
Great cute scene, by the way, with
Great.
Baby Groot.
Where he's chasing.
Where he's
Or where
searching
he's
for
searching
everything.
for the fin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he just keeps bringing him random junk. No, definitely go watch Guardians 2.
Yeah.
But it turns out that once you kill Ego, Peter supposedly doesn't have these powers anymore. So that is gone. Peter's cool with that. They kill Ego, get away, but in the process...
The golden people, which we skipped entirely.
Well, they're in the beginning and they're at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they show up.
Yeah, they show up during the battle.
Yeah, but they don't do anything.
And then they make a hint to Adam, but
Well, that's
I don't,
the end.
Yeah.
No, there's only one shield. And it's like a spacesuit in order to fly back to the ship. And it's Yondu and Peter Quill. And Yondu, being the real father to him emotionally, puts the shield on. And he's like, be good.
Be good, boy.
Yeah.
Whatever ET kind of rip-off thing they do. And he shoots him in space. Yondu freezes. It's super fucking sad. I think Chris
they
Pratt
have
did
the
a really good
Ravengers,
job. The
like,
Ravengers
send off.
come, Yeah.
Yeah.
Give him the Ravager funeral, which Sylvester Stallone told him in the beginning would never happen for him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because it turns out that like the Ravagers have a code where they don't fuck around with kids, and Ego paid him a shit ton of money to get Quill off of Earth.
Right.
That kind of got him blacklisted with the rest of the Ravagers, like Stallone and everyone. And it's not until he stops Ego from taking over the galaxy that he actually gets in good with them, but dies in the process. And so, you get... The Guardians are all back together. They got Nebula with them, too. Well, Nebula goes off to go kill Thanos.
Yes.
She's like, I'm going to go kill Thanos. I helped you guys, but I'm out of here. Then you get the Stinger, which is the golden people are like, I'm creating this super golden person who is going to be Adam Warlock, is what's hinted to be. Which, we'll get to, if that's happens in Endgame or not. And, that covers Guardians 2?
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think Spider-Man,
Spider-Man
Homecoming.
Homecoming. Yeah.
Which, doesn't really do too much for the plot. Except
No,
for
it just
No.
introduces Spider-Man more.
So I think as far as Endgame's going to be concerned, you get introduced to Tom Holland's first standalone appearance as Spider-Man. You get, like, him fighting against Vulture. I mean, everyone does a really good job, I think, in that movie.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Michael Keaton, like, as Vulture, I wasn't
Hey.
expecting it.
No,
but it was
I
great.
mean, what was that one movie he was nominated for an Oscar for? Kind of put him back in the spotlight.
Birdman?
Yeah, Birdman, something like that.
Yeah. He plays Birdman again.
Yeah, basically.
But it's kind of cool. I mean, even the reveal that he's, like, the love interest's father, like, I remember watching it going, like, whoa, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah,
like, you
that was
just
a good,
don't
good
see
little
it coming.
twist, yeah.
But yeah, you get Peter Parker.
But he was like stealing.
He was
Alien.
stealing alien
Alien.
shit from the
Yeah.
cleanup from the Avengers movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's sort
Well,
of...
that was after they all got fired, basically.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they're doing... His company was doing the cleanup post the events of Avengers, the first one. And then this is sort of like Flash to the future. He's been taking everything they got because S.H.I.E.L.D. kicked them out.
Yeah,
And he's been selling it.
black market deal.
Black market
Yeah.
weapons deals. They've been innovating technology with the alien shit and making weapons and selling it. So he's made a bunch of money and, living a good life, all that stuff, but he's doing this shit. And so this movie sort of revolves around Tom Holland Spider-Man. Like, he's been Spider-Man. He's now got this fancy new suit that Tony Stark gave him in Civil War. He's learning how to be Spider-Man, but Tony Stark's trying to keep him, like, you need to keep it on the down, like,
Trying to
keep
make
it-
sure he still
yeah.
is a kid.
Yeah, like, still live your
Yeah.
life, still do your shit. Be Spider-Man, but just be Spider-Man for, like, Queens.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
don't... He's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Be friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. You're not out to save the world.
Yep.
You just focus where you are. And it's sort of Tom Holland wanting to not do that. He wants to be a superhero full-time and be an Avenger. And it's him realizing that there's more to life than just that. He beats the Vulture, arrests him, all that good shit. You get the MJ
Introduction.
introduction.
Yeah.
You don't know she's MJ like the entire movie. And then she goes, my friends call me MJ, played by Zendaya. Who is also funny as hell in that movie, I think, just her attitude towards it all. And then you get the Iron Spider suit.
Yeah.
that people
at
went
the
really
end,
50-50 on is
yeah.
like...
But then he disappears, doesn't he? He's like,
he
I don't need it. And
no,
then
yeah,
they're
he
just
says
like, where's
thanks,
the kid?
but no. And it's kind of insinuating that Tom Holland thought it was a test.
Yeah.
And Tony Stark's like, yeah, sure, it was a test. And he walks away, and then Gwyneth Paltrow comes out and is like, where the fuck is the kid? Like, we have a press conference behind her.
Yeah.
They're going to announce that there's a new Avenger, Spider-Man, and instead I think they announced that Tony and Pepper are going to get married. Like, that's what they end up doing with it.
Yeah. Happy plays a pretty good role.
Yep,
John Favreau was
yep.
back in
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
And Happy plays a pretty good role in that.
John Favreau's doing a lot of stuff. He's doing all this. He's doing that Star Wars show that's coming out.
Doing Star Wars show.
Yeah.
He did Jungle Book remake with live action.
right, he did do
did
that.
Lion King.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, shoot.
Well, because they had such success with Jungle Book.
Yeah.
So they gave him
Which
the
was
big
okay.
Lion King.
It was
Jungle Book wasn't
alright.
bad. It just you don't go into any of those live action movies expecting the movie you grew up with. I'll tell
Yeah.
you that right now. That was not the same movie.
Guy Ritchie, not Aladdin. No, that was the wrong choice. Well, yeah.
I mean, Will Smith in Aladdin didn't even happen.
No.
Haven't seen it yet. I don't even know if it's out yet at the time of recording
This weekend.
This weekend? Oh, God, no.
Not this week, but the
Next
following
week.
Memorial Day. Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah.
You can keep it. I don't need that.
Yeah. So then, Spider-Man ends and Black Panther.
Yeah, I think we're on Black Panther.
Yeah.
One of the better Marvel movies for sure.
Yeah, the first one nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah.
It won an Oscar for at least the fashion.
Yeah, the costume design.
which
Yeah.
was really. I mean, you could tell that this movie, it didn't feel like the other ones, and they definitely went above and beyond the line I think they had kind of made for the previous Marvel movies of like, we're gonna do this one really, really freaking good, and we're gonna make it a hell of a lot heavier than just there's a bad guy, we gotta go beat him up. It's like you really relate to Killmonger. So basically, what happens is you now are kind of going off of Civil War. You have T'Challa, the Black Panther, is now king of Wakanda because his father is dead. They go through this little coronation thing. You're kind of seeing the interplay of the tribes within Wakanda.
Yeah, Wakandian culture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you see Wakandian culture.
And they make it known that Wakanda is separate from Africa, which is really sad, but like...
Yeah, they do this whole thing. So
Yeah.
Wakanda is the source of vibranium, this like indestructible material, but also it can be an energy source, and it has this plethora of uses. The Wakandans have been using it for a million years. This stuff has been sitting on Earth. They've been using it. They built their whole society around it. They're more advanced than anybody on the planet. So, because they don't want anyone using vibranium as a weapon, they have hidden themselves from the world, and they make everybody think that Wakanda is like a poor farming country, like just another poor farming country in Africa.
Yeah.
Turns out, no, they're like fucking living in the future, and they have like cloaking devices and lasers and all this cool shit. They also have this flower that gives you the powers of the Black Panther, makes you like a super soldier, and that's where you get the Black Panther from. The king gets the flower. He's like the defender of Wakanda, and so on and so forth. The movie basically goes, T'Challa is trying to figure out, how do I be a good king? It's kind of like Lion King in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it is.
Just without the Pumbaa stuff.
Yeah.
You have him trying to come to terms with, like, I wasn't ready for this.
It would kind of be like if Scar had a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's Lion King 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
that's
okay,
right.
I've
Spoilers
never
for Lion
seen-
King 2.
Oh.
Lion King 2 straight to DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not bad, but that's the plot, basically, is that you have Scar has a kid and a thing happens. It doesn't take the same turn, but in this one you have a cousin played by
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan,
Yeah.
who is known as Killmonger. He basically went to, I think he's in the military, and
Military.
he's
like
highest
Navy
kill
SEALs
count.
or
Navy
Everybody,
SEAL,
yeah.
he's doing all those Black Ops things and all that. His father was sort of killed by T'Challa's father, the former king of Wakanda, because he was trying to arm black people across the planet who were being
Oppressed.
oppressed
Was it
by...
after Rodney King riots? Is
Yeah,
that
it's like
the
around
beginning
that. It's like
takes part?
92, I
Yeah.
think, is when that intro scene starts. And he's like, they're hurting our people. We have the ability to stop this. It also turns out that his uncle was the one who got Andy Serkis' character.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He got
him out.
Andy Serkis
Yeah.
in and out of Wakanda.
Yeah.
Like, he's the reason why, because he's
Yeah.
like, I'm going to get these Wakandan
Yeah.
weapons to,
Yep.
the impoverished masses. Wakanda's like, this is wrong, you shouldn't do this, and kills him when he tries to stop him.
Yep.
And it turns out he had a kid who is Killmonger, who knew about Wakanda, knew all this stuff already, because his dad was undercover, and that's how he had him. He goes kind of on this long mission to ultimately make himself king of Wakanda, and then do what his father was trying to do, which was give out their weapons to the people that are being oppressed and kind of overthrow the oppressors.
Yep.
And you're kind of faced with this really, like, I think the movie presents a dilemma where it's like, well, he's not wrong. Like, these people need help. And
No.
it's just, maybe this isn't the best way to
Yeah.
do it.
Yep.
But it's just, I mean,
But then
God,
proving like that the like entire like country or whatever Wakanda is, that they're kind of hoarding all of this like wealth
Right.
for themselves.
And that's sort of what ends up.
And yeah.
What T'Challa realizes is that Wakanda is in the middle of probably one of the most impoverished places on the planet,
Yeah.
and they have everything.
Yeah.
And they're
and
pretending
yet they
they're
act like they're
nothing.
separate from
Right.
black people.
And you don't, and they're not actively helping the rest of Africa
Right.
Yeah.
because they're afraid that people will use their weapons and
Yeah.
technology to,
Yeah.
because you've got like a lot of warlords and stuff and all that deal. It's a great movie. Everybody does a fucking
Yeah.
great job in that
Yeah.
movie. I don't think there's anyone in there who I go, meh.
Yeah.
Like, you suck in this. Everyone's killing it. Even Bilbo Baggins.
Yes.
Martin Freeman's
Martin
in this
Freeman's
movie.
in it. Yep.
Yeah. He kind of serves as like the white jester.
He's like he sort of represents like the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have this cool fight. The end, you have a Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan's character, gets one of the Black Panther suits and the powers of the Black Panther, and you have this great fight between him and Chadwick Boseman, and and then at the end of the movie, the basic point is Wakanda reveals itself to the world and says, we're going to help you guys with our technology and make life better for everybody.
Exactly.
Not giving you weapons, doing everything we can, not give you guys weapons, but like make just life better because we can. At the same time, I think Civil War ended in Wakanda. They ran off to Wakanda.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Oh man, is that Infinity War next? Are we already on Infinity War?
Yeah, that's Infinity War.
Holy shit!
Hour and
We are
something later.
well, that's before Infinity War because chronologically this happens before it.
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, that's right.
We're not gonna do you dirty like we did Ant-Man. We got your second one on lock. Ant-Man and the Wasp happens. You guys have seen Endgame. I have not. So Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Which I think I fell asleep during that, unfortunately.
We all watched that together, though.
Yeah,
didn't
we did.
We did watch that. I remember that now. Yeah, I mean, you guys have seen Avengers Endgame. I don't know how important that. Don't tell me, but I don't know how important Ant-Man and the Wasp plotline was to Avengers. But Ant-Man and the Wasp, basically, they're fucking around in the tiny world, the microverse world, or what?
The quantum realm.
There you go,
Yeah.
quantum realm. And it's kind of Oh man, you got to remind me who's who in this. So you got Paul Rudd's Ant-Man.
Paul Rudd's Ant-Man. You got
Evangeline
Lilly's Wasp.
And then you've got
Who's her
the
dad?
Michael Douglas.
Michael
Yep.
Douglas. You got
Mom
Michael
is
Douglas.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Are they getting mom though, or did they
That's
already
the whole
get
point.
mom?
That's the point. Is
Okay.
Michael Douglas is like, I want to get my wife who went into the quantum realm. And since at the end of Ant-Man 1, Paul Rudd got out of the quantum realm, which I got a lot of problems with. They're like, we'll find a way to track her down in the quantum realm and get her out.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the plot of this movie.
And they're on the run the whole entire
They're
time.
on the run because of Civil War.
Yes, because of what Paul Rudd's character
did
Yeah.
with the
Civil War,
Ant-Man's.
yeah.
Ant-Man's under house arrest, which actually is like one of the better parts of this movie. Is him and his daughter goofing around, and then you
the
have
things
that
he
one
does, yep.
agent who keeps. I think the agent is from that television show Fresh Off the Boat or
Yes.
something like that. He's like the agent who keeps coming. He's like his parole officer from S.H.I.E.L.D. basically, and he keeps tricking him into. Every time he leaves, he tricks him into thinking he's home. He's just sick or whatever. But yeah, so they're kind of working on that. They're figuring out how to do this thing to save the mom or whatever. At the same time, the villain, one of like the three villains of this movie, I think, you got Five-Head guy who's from that new Tomb Raider movie.
Oh, Walton Goggins.
Yeah, him who God, he's doing that country accent that whole time in that movie. It just comes off weird.
Yeah, I think it's because he did that for so long in Justified. They're like, we just want your Justified
Just
character.
come over here and
yeah.
do it. Yeah. Well, it's not great. I guess maybe it's because I think I saw Tomb Raider before that, so it's just like, you don't sound like that. Why are you doing that? And so he's an arms dealer who Michael Douglas and Evangeline Lilly are kind of giving technology to support their own thing.
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne's in this movie.
That's
right.
Yep.
Lawrence Fishburne's in this movie. He is working with the villain known as Ghost,
Yes.
who was a woman who, as a girl, was subjected to PIM particles or something.
Yeah, pin particles, some type of explosion.
Yeah, some explosion happened. Her parents, were in it, and she jumped in to save her dad when she was a little girl and got caught up. Her parents died, and she is now able to like phase through shit, but it's killing her.
Yeah.
So Lawrence Fishburne's trying to help her figure it out, because if they can get this quantum realm junk working, they can fix her. But S.H.I.E.L.D. also turned her into like a weapon. Hydra Shield, whatever
Yeah.
it was at the time, turned her into a weapon. I think this movie's the last time you get a reference to Hydra Shield.
Yes.
I think it's like, they did their thing, we're done. So Hydra Shield does their shit, turned her into a weapon, she's just killing everybody. You have, so what? They save Mom.
Save Mom.
Mom's has weird, funky superpowers now, by the way, that they don't, at least in this movie, address. They're just
Yeah.
like, oh, she heals ghosts. That's what she does. She
Yeah.
comes out, they save her. She's been surviving in the quantum realm, I guess, like, killing microscopic organisms or something to survive. She's the original Wasp, by the way.
Yes.
She comes out, and she's kind of, sort of mystical in a weird, like, she's mysterious. She's
yes.
like,
I would say more
I'm
mysterious.
different, like, I'm not the same person that left you, but, like, I've learned how to do and survive all this cool shit. And that's one of the things I hated, was it was sort of like, we're just going to gloss over that and keep going on to the end of the movie, because there's like 15 minutes left in the movie at that point. She cures ghosts with, like, laying of hands or something, and then Ghost is gone. There's something blowing up. I don't remember how that movie...
It's like they have a big scene where they're going down one of the famous streets in San Francisco with Walton Goggins' character after him or something like that.
Car chase where they're
Car
shrinking
chase
and growing.
yeah.
And that movie's so discombobulated, I don't remember.
Best part of the movie, though, is Michael Pena's character.
Michael Pena's character is best in all of them.
Yeah. If they should do a separate movie just on him.
I just want a YouTube video where they just have him do what we're doing now.
Yeah.
But for him, so Michael Pena's character is like this very eccentric guy who recaps things and tells stories from story. It's all this hearsay stuff. He's like the comedic relief. Him and the rest of the security crew are like the big comedic relief in the movie. They do a good job. It's just like it was such a movie where I only wanted one thing: make it just Ghost, make it just the arms dealers.
Yeah.
Make it take place more in the quantum realm where you're dealing with the stuff there. Like, just pick one or two of those, but you gotta dump one, because it came off like 3 pieces of a movie that they shoved together.
Exactly.
And it's just kind of, okay. Then, at the end of that one, you get the snap, where Ant-Man goes into the quantum realm while they're doing experiments, now that they know they can jump in and out of it. And you get the Thanos snap occur, kind of concurrently with the end of Infinity War, which we'll get to in a second, where everybody disappears except Ant-Man, I assume because he's in the quantum realm. And everyone gets all snapped, and they're gone. So he's just trapped there, pretty much.
Yeah.
And finally, Avengers Infinity War. Here it is, guys, the movie that is the direct prequel when we do Avengers Endgame. Begins... Oh, shit, no! We forgot Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because, yeah. So excited. Quick and dirty rundown of Thor Ragnarok. Turns out he has a sister named Hela.
Yeah.
Who's been trapped, and the only way she can... Trapped in, like, literally hell. Only way she can get out is if Odin dies. Odin's been sick, apparently, for like a really long time. Loki traps Odin on Earth and pretends to be Odin at the end of Thor the Dark World. Thor goes to find him, with help from Doctor Strange, gets Loki, stops him from being faking it as Odin.
Great little cameos of Matt Damon as Loki.
Yeah, that was great.
Chris Hemsworth as... Liam
Hemsworth as Thor and Matt Damon as Loki in this little like play they put on. So good. Thor Ragnarok of the Thor movies, worlds better.
Yes.
Or realms better than the other.
The Bifrost.
That's it. The Bifrost. That's the fucking thing. That's the Rainbow Road. Yeah, that movie took the Bifrost like 8 realms up from fucking the first 2 Thor movies. Directed by, I always say his name wrong, Taika Waititi?
Wakiti?
Oh man, I don't know. There's a lot of hard consonants in his name. He's a great director regardless. He also plays Korg.
Yes, he does.
Korg in this movie is sort of the comedic relief. Oh man, Ragnarok's actually really important. I'm glad I remembered it because a lot happens.
Yeah.
So Odin dies on Earth.
Yeah.
You know, he says later, Thor, Loki, thanks for saving me.
Hela comes through.
And they're like, we're going to fuck you up. And she destroys Thor's hammer and Mjolnir.
Yep.
So Thor's like, oh, fuck. They
use the Rainbow Road to get back home.
But she chases him.
Yep.
And throws him and Loki out of the Bifrost.
Yep. And then she takes over
Asgard. With help of great supporting actor...
Carl Urban.
For those of you listening, we have a running joke between us that Carl Urban is a fantastic supporting actor, and I don't know how much I've actually seen him be a main role in anything. Doom is about as close as I think it gets.
Dredd.
Yeah.
Dredd. That's right. He gets to Dredd. I have not seen Dredd. I need to see Dredd, but I have not seen Dredd. Possibly stay tuned. So you have Carl Urban, who is like weirdly obsessed with all this Earth shit. Like he has these AK-47s. I think he gave them names of women or something.
Yeah.
And all this other just a pile of junk that he's gotten from Earth. I don't know. They should have put like a Dredd helmet or something in the pile.
They should have.
That would have been kind of
Yeah.
But because Hela threw Loki and Thor out of the Bifrost in transit, they wind up on, and finally I get it, Jeff Goldblum's planet.
Yeah.
That has a name. It's like, starts with an S. Skara, something like that. Thor without his hammer, and he thinks he doesn't have his powers, therefore he lands, and Tessa Thompson, I think, picks him up.
Yes.
He's like, it's like a junk planet, you know, and you have Jeff Goldblum, who is the Grand Master, who is the brother, I think, of the Collector, actually.
Yes.
He kind of runs this world, and he has this sort of like Coliseum thing.
Yeah, gladiator combat.
Where they all fight each other, and that's where you meet Korg, and that is where Chris Hemsworth winds up to fight, because he's kicking some ass, and Tessa Thompson's like, give me some money for this dude, he can fight in your arena. The first person he fights is none other than the Incredible Hulk, who disappeared after the events of
Ultron.
Yep. Ultron, he flies away and disappears. And, you know, no one knows where he is. Everyone's just like, oh man, Hulk's gone. Bruce is gone. Turns out he's been hanging out here as, like, permanent Hulk. I was super disappointed they didn't do a Planet Hulk thing, because that's kind of how that comic thing goes. Is like Hulk is on Grandmaster's planet, and then he takes over the planet. And because he was kicked off of Earth, he takes an army back to Earth to go get revenge. It's pretty fucking cool. But, of course, they didn't do it like that. So him and Thor fight, and it kind of becomes like Thor and Hulk, and then later Thor and Bruce Banner trying to get off the planet so that they can go save Asgard, because once they save Asgard, they'll save the other realms, because Hela's going to go and take over everything.
Yeah.
She's the goddess of
Dang,
death.
we forgot the whole Ragnarok thing.
Oh, the beginning.
At the beginning with the dragon.
There's a whole prophecy that like Ragnarok will begin soon, and Asgard will be destroyed.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why this is called Ragnarok. We spent a long time not on Asgard.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing the stuff with Goldblum's planet. And ultimately, I think it's Loki, Thor, Bruce Banner, and Tessa Thompson's character Valkyrie escape Jeff Goldblum's planet and get back to Asgard. Oh, Korg and them get out too. Everybody gets out. Everybody gets out of that planet. They run away. They go to Asgard where they fight off, where everybody fights off Hela and her goons. It turns out that the longer Hela is on Asgard, the more and more powerful she will become. So Thor realizes, like, oh, I'm the god of thunder. I don't need no damn hammer to do that.
Yeah.
And starts fucking Hela up, but he's not strong enough. Neither is Loki. No one is. And they realize we need to destroy Asgard.
Yep.
So let's make Ragnarok happen. So they summon the god Surtur to destroy Asgard, because that's what his whole shtick is. They summon Surtur. He's destroying Asgard. Hela can't exactly stop Surtur. Asgard gets destroyed. Hela is overpowers and assumedly dies.
Yeah, but during this whole time, someone decides to steal the Tesseract again.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good catch. Good catch. Loki sees the Tesseract in Odin's little weapons chamber and takes it. Like, Loki takes it. And they all get on a ship. All they get, the Asgardian refugees, all that's left, on a ship that Korg brings, you know, Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
They leave, Asgard's wiped out. That's where you get Avengers Infinity War starts.
Yes.
Yep.
Open up on the refugee ship, destroyed. You got corpses floating around. I think the audio, I watched this on the plane when I was coming home the other day. You know, the audio is a SOS from the Asgardian ship, and you kind of are going through this wreckage, and you have Thanos and his they have a name collectively. I don't know. Dark somethings. The children of Thanos or whatever are there on the Asgardian ship. It's very clear they've already beaten the shit out of Thor and Loki. It's like just after they fucked him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Thanos, this guy's kind of processing. He's like, be happy that Thanos is killing you. And la la la.
Yeah.
They have this whole fight where it turns out Thanos now has the Power Stone. So he's like, I'm stronger than everybody. I'm fucking you up. And it's implied later that he destroyed Xandar in order to get it. That all sort of happens off screen.
Yeah.
So these guys fight Thor and Loki and the Hulk. And the Hulk takes on Thanos, and Thanos beats the piss out of the Hulk. As the Hulk knocks him out. Idris Elba's like final move is to get Bruce Banner back to Earth using the Bifrost. Thanos gets mad, beats up Thor. Loki's they're trying to conceal, like, Thor doesn't know that Loki has the Tesseract. Loki's trying to conceal that he has the Tesseract. He's trying to play Thanos and all this other shit. Thor's like, I don't know where the fuck the Tesseract is. You guys are crazy. Thanos threatens to kill Thor. Loki's like, alright, fine. Here it is. And Thanos is like, you son of a bitch. Like, what the hell? Why did you take that?
Yeah.
You could have let it be destroyed on Asgard.
Yeah.
Gives Thanos the Tesseract. Thanos now has a space stone, which is what the Tesseract was. So now he can move across space at will. Loki tries to get the jump on Thanos and kill him. Thanos kills Loki. He's just fucking dead. Sorry, everybody fanboying and girling over Loki. Like, Loki's fucking dead.
Yeah.
Thor is now, like, pissed as shit.
Pops his eye out. In this,
Yeah, he rips his eye
Yeah.
out, doesn't he? Like, with his bare hands.
Yeah, something like that.
They rip Thor's eye out. No, that's in the other.
No, they don't.
They do it.
That was in
they rip
Ragnarok.
That's in Ragnarok. She cuts his eye out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Hela
right.
cuts his eye out, stabs him in the eye or some
Yeah.
shit.
Let's not get confused here.
No, it's tough. We've gone through like 22 movies. Then we cut back to Earth, I believe. Thor's left. Thanos destroys the ship with the power gem, leaves through a portal with the space gem. Thor's just assumedly like floating. We go to Earth. Hulk crashes in the Sanctum Sanctorum of Doctor Strange and Wong. He's like, oh my god, Thanos is coming. And they're like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Then we cut to Tony Stark and Pepper, and they're talking about how... I think Tony Stark's talking about how he wants a kid.
Yeah, he wants to have a family. Have
a family. He doesn't want to be a superhero anymore. He's like, no more surprises. And then suddenly Doctor Strange appears through a fucking wormhole.
Yeah.
He's like, we gotta talk, bud. So as that's going on, I think he just describes...
Describes Thanos.
Describes
like,
Thanos, what his
Steve.
goal is. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, Bruce Banner has been just kind of out of it for a while. He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And he just goes, you gotta call Steve Rogers. There's no time for you guys arguing. Like,
yeah.
This shit's massive. He's gonna destroy the universe. So he's like, fine, he goes to call him, but before he can do it, the Thanos' goons come to take the Time Stone from Doctor Strange. So Doctor Strange is like, oh shit, we can't let him have it. Above all other things, you can fucking die before I give them this fucking stone.
Yeah.
And they do their bit. They fight these guys. You get, RDJ's throwing out some great lines like, well, fuck you, Squidward, or whatever.
Yeah.
As they're fighting, you get Bruce Banner for some reason can't go Hulk.
Yeah, you see him turn green. You see him green, fade green, but he's like, it's not working. And then Wong gets him out of there.
Spider-Man comes in to help with the fight.
Yeah.
This is where you get our first look at him being the Iron Spider suit as the alien guys take Doctor Strange because he put a spell on the Time Stone where no one can take it off of him, even if he's dead.
Right.
He has to break it in order for anyone to take it. So they're like, fuck you, you're knocked out, we're just going to take you with us.
Yeah.
Peter Parker gets on the ship. Iron Man shoots the Iron Spider suit up to him so he can breathe in space and all that other cool gizmo shit. Iron Man and Spider-Man are on the big donut-looking spaceship as it flies away to go to Titan. Not that Titan, apparently another Titan that Thanos is from, to give Thanos the time gem. And at the same time, the Squidward guy is going to try to get Doctor Strange to give it up.
Yeah. And then it flashes to Vision and
Scarlet Witch.
Who
are lovers, by the way.
Who are lovers,
They
yes.
are lovers, and they're
lovers.
secretly meeting up and have been for months now.
And they're in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
And the Vision has like a crazy reaction to something because they see actually what happened on the screen with Stark.
So he senses... It's like the stones talk to each other. Mm-hmm. So he senses it, and they're just like, the fuck's up? And he's like, nothing.
And they get attacked by two of Thanos' children.
Right, the whole thing is that they're talking about, why don't we just stop? Yeah. Like, let's just run away together. Like, fuck this. It's working. Let's just make it work. And then they see that New York was attacked. And then two more Thanos' children come to take the mind gem from Vision. Mm-hmm. They're going to rip it out of his head. And it kind of like, the guy has this funky spear that hurts Vision, and you can't phase through it. And it's this whole, oh shit, I can't. I'm wounded, so like, and this was something I realized rewatching it was like Vision is crazy powerful in Ultron, and it kind of was like really annoying how he couldn't just fuck anybody up. Yeah. And then I realized, well, they fuck him up in a way where he's not fixed the whole time.
Right.
So he's kind of handicapped the whole way through this movie. Scarlet Witch and him are fighting him off, and you get this great intro scene of Captain America returning.
Yeah, steps out
from behind a train. He's got a beard.
Like
catches the spear.
Yep.
When they hurl it at him, and they're just like, fuck, and then him and Black Widow and Falcon are fucking up the children of Thanos.
Black Widow has blonde hair at this time.
I think she dyes her blonde.
A lot.
Yeah, they keep changing her hair. I don't really know why. You get them, and they're like, good to see you, Vision, I guess. Kind of begrudging about this, but okay.
Yeah, he just says, Captain.
Yeah. Turns out they didn't know, about this little side ventures of the two starstruck lovers. So they're just or star-crossed lovers. And they're just like, oh, man, we're going to take you home, I guess. And so they go back to the Avengers house, or that's where they're heading. Meantime, the Guardians of the Galaxy find the wreckage of the Asgardian ship because they pick up an SOS. And they're like, maybe someone will pay us, which is a great intro because they're playing Rubber Band Man.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like one of my favorite funky songs ever.
Yep.
And
Thor lands on their windshield, right?
Yeah, Thor hits their windshield.
Their technical windshield.
And they're just like freaking the fuck out. Yep. And they pull him in. You get this great bit where I think Drax, Peter's like, Chris Pratt's character, he goes like, it's just a dude. And Drax is staring, he's like, this is not a dude. You are a dude. This is a man. And they're like, like he's like a cross between a pirate and an angel.
Yep, and you see Gamora like
rubbing his biceps.
Yeah.
So it's like his muscles have muscles, or his muscles are made out of some crazy hard steel or some shit. And they're just like fawning over him while like Peter Quill's just like, I'm not having this. He's just mad. Yeah, so all that's going on. Thor wakes up. Mantis, who was introduced in the second movie as sort of this kind of sort of contact telepath, wakes him up. Empath. There you go, like an empath. Wakes him up, and you know, they have kind of a rundown of what the fuck happened. Who are you? What's going on? He's like, I have to go to this magic forge in another star system.
Yeah.
So that I can make a weapon that'll kill fucking Thanos, because I want my revenge on Thanos. So Thor and Rocket and Groot are going to go do that, while the rest of the Guardians are going to go to nowhere to go and get the Reality Stone
From the Collector.
Back to Earth. Man, this movie's jumping everywhere.
It jumps a lot.
Jesus Christ. We're back to Earth.
Does it go back to Earth, or does it go to Stark in space?
Oh, maybe it goes to Stark in space.
Yeah, I think it goes to Stark in space, and they're fighting, trying to get back, and
they fight and they save Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
From getting tortured. They save Doctor Strange, they kill the Squidward guy, and you get... This is a part that kind of made me groan a little bit. Is you get Tom Holland Spider-Man, like, trying to make He does this in Civil War, where he's like, have you guys seen that really old movie, Empire Strikes Back? And they do the AT-AT thing, where they, like, knock giant Ant-Man down. And it's like, haha, that's funny, cool. And they make a joke, like, you're making me feel old, kind of type thing. In this one, they're like, you guys ever seen that really old movie, Alien? And we watched that. We got to go see that at the Music Box last night. It was really cool. Tom Skerritt was there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember seeing that.
But they're like, you seen that really old movie, Alien? And they're just like, yeah.
Fucking kid.
And like RDJ's just kind of pissed because he's just like, oh, fuck. So what they do is they blow Squidward out a hole in the wall that they make. Kind of like the end of Alien, where Ripley shoots. Spoilers for Alien if you haven't seen it in the last like 40 fucking years. They shoot the alien out into space through an airlock, and the alien dies.
Yeah.
They do the same thing with Squidward. They shoot him out the airlock. He's dead. Okay, whatever.
Yeah,
so
it does this weird like, duh, and he's like...
Yeah, he's frozen. He's
Sorry, you can't see my face. But
yeah. He's just making noise and dying. And then it becomes an argument, because the whole time you're dealing with Tony Stark kind of trying to defend everybody. It's like how Ultron, it kind of comes to its own in this movie, where he's like, something really, really fucking bad's gonna happen, and I want to make sure that it doesn't happen. And so Doctor Strange is like, can you fucking get us home on this donut ship? And Stark's like, maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should go to wherever the fuck we're going and kick this Thanos guy's ass, and then we'll be safe. And they're just like, you know, this is stupid, we're taking the time stone right to him. And in the end, they're like, fine, whatever, we'll figure this out. Meanwhile, the Guardians make it to nowhere. Or no, I'm sorry, we're at the Avengers HQ.
Yeah.
And this is where you get General Ross.
General
right?
Ross, yeah.
He's pissed off because they need to hunt down... They heard about what shit happened in Burrow or whatever, and they're just like, you need to fucking go find Cap. He's like, why haven't you found Captain America? Why haven't you bring me Captain America now? Bring me pictures of Spider-Man. Yeah. And he's pissed off, and they're like, there's more important things to worry about than this. And then lo and behold, guess who appears is Vision and Captain America and Black Widow, and they're just like, hey, we're gonna help you with your fucking alien problem. And General Ross is like, no, you're not. You're under arrest. Don Cheadle arrests them, and he's like, okie doke, hangs up on
yeah.
And he's like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, it's good to see you. Let's go fix this shit.
Yeah.
They discuss what they can do with Vision to try to get the Mind Stone
Yeah,
away
that's right. Yeah, because like, he wants the Mind Stone. We figure out how to get that away from him.
And the only way is to go back to Wakanda.
Right, and it's sort of this. It's like Pawn Stars. Is Captain America's basically like, it's all right, I got a guy.
Yeah.
And like. They leave, and it's implied they're going to Wakanda.
Yeah.
The Guardians are now at Nowhere, and they're trying to sneak up on Thanos. Nowhere is in ruins, I think, right? It's all destroyed.
Like, it's already been destroyed,
right.
But
Thanos beat him.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, Thanos is, what?
The real important part is on the way to Nowhere, Gamora discusses with Quill
that's right.
that she has to be killed. That Quill has to promise to kill her and not let Thanos get her, because she knows where one of the stones are and how to get the Soul Stone eventually is on Vormir. I know it starts with an F.
Yeah.
But they get there, Reality Stone, whatever Thanos does with it. You see that everyone's dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Nowhere's destroyed.
Yeah, so, like, Thor mentions that no one knows where the Soul Stone is.
Yeah.
And, like, therefore, there's no possible way that Thanos could get what he wants. And you see this Gamora kind of going, oh, well, I mean,
I know.
But I didn't tell anybody, I swear,
Yeah.
except I told some people, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, she makes Quill swear.
Yeah.
They go to nowhere, and they see Thanos asking the Collector, where is the stone? And the Collector's like, oh, I'm sorry, I sold it. Like, it's gone. Oh, no. And he's like, no, you're not fucking... You're either really fucking stupid, but I didn't think you were that stupid, so I'm going to kill you anyway. They're sneaking up on him, and Quill's trying to give them orders, like, guys, come on, like, hold up, let's go this way, I have a plan, and no one's following them, and, like, they just kind of bum rush Thanos.
Yeah.
You see Gamora, he throws the Collector in, like, a pod and traps him in there. And then Gamora gets the jump on him and kills him, stabs him with this dagger that there's a previous flashback scene that he gave her when he first picked her up as a child. Stabs him in the chest with this fucking dagger, and you watch Thanos die. And she's crying for whatever reason, either out of joy or sad sorrow, whatever the fuck. And then suddenly you have the Collector like clapping his hands, freaking out. Everyone's like, wow, that was like really fucking easy.
Yeah.
And then you hear Thanos kind of say, oh, you know, I knew this would happen or some shit.
Yeah.
And everything starts to ripple in this red-black mist. And it turns out that Thanos had already gone and gotten the reality gem. And that allows him to manipulate reality to make it look and be however he wants. So he faked it. And, you know, the Collector disappears, and everything is now different. It's all, like, ruined, but it's not on fire anymore. It's kind of been like that. And they're like, fuck, we didn't kill Thanos. He got the jump on us. Oh, shit. And so when Drax tries to kill him, he turns Drax into, like, ribbons or makes him crumble. Mantis, he turns into ribbons. And now he grabs Gamora, and he's like, you're going to come with me. And she's like, Peter, you promised.
Yeah.
And it's this whole scene where he's trying to kill her, but he can't bring himself to do it. Then Thanos is like, fucking do it, bitch. Like, do it. I dare you. Do it. Kill her. Shoot her. Come on. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. And, like, it goes on. It feels like it goes on for that long, and it gets that annoying.
Yeah, and
he's
he
like,
actually does it.
He pulls the trigger.
Yeah, but it turns into bubbles.
Because the reality stone, he turns the bubbles.
And then Thanos is like, I like him.
And then whoop, into the portal they go, and Peter's just like, fuck. And the other guys, they come back. They like get reconstituted. They go to Wakanda. It goes back to Wakanda.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we got to go
entering-
back to Thor. Wait, right?
Did we get there? Is that Thor?
We haven't got to
Thor. I think they take their time getting back to Thor. Don't they? They like go to the Thor part is they go to the forge and it's turned off. It's like supposed to be a neutron star or something. The forge is turned off and they can't make it go. Peter Dinklage is a dwarf, but not a dwarf, like just what's called a dwarf, but he's giant. It's really odd. He explains that Thanos came and made him make the Infinity Gauntlet for him, and then like covered his hands in metal
And killed everyone.
killed everybody but Peter Dinklage. Seatree, I think is his name, and shut the forge down, so he can't make anything to stop him. So they're like, we gotta reignite the forge. You also have grumpy teenage Groot playing the Space Invaders the whole time. And they're like, okay, well, how do we do that? Tells them how they do it. Cut back. Gang goes to Wakanda. Not everybody's familiar with it. They do this whole gag where Bruce Banner asks Don Cheadle, should I bow? And Don Cheadle's like, he goes, yeah, he's a king. Of course you're going to bow. And they get off the little ship, and T'Challa's there, and he goes, welcome to Wakanda. And then it comes and Bruce Banner like bows, and then he's like, we don't do that here. And Don Cheadle's like, what the hell are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? And so they go through the whole thing because you learn in Black Panther, and then it's more important. This one is T'Challa's younger sister is like the smartest person on Earth. She's like a genius, like a child genius, and she's like, you know, Bruce, you're so fucking dumb. How come you didn't do this technological thing? And he's like, we just didn't think about it. And she's like, and so she's like, I can do this. I can like separate the gem from him. But it's gonna require all this fucking effort. It's gonna take a while because there's like trillions of these neuron things that are cut. And they're like, well, they're coming for it. And it ain't gonna be long before they come for it, so figure it out. And they get kind of her started as Thanos' goons are returning to Earth in these big drop ships.
Someone get this man a shield.
Get this man a shield. And that kind of begins. In the meantime, the Guardians, or what's left of the Guardians, Mantis, Drax, and what's it called? Star-Lord, get onto the donut ship that Peter Parker, Tony Stark, and Doctor Strange are all on. Mm-hmm. And they fight for a minute, and I think you get the next best Drax line ever, where they're fighting, and then Peter asks Tony Stark, he's like, "Where's Gamora?" He's like, "What'd you do with Gamora? Where's Gamora?" And Tony Stark pulls the helmet off, and he's like, "I'll do you one better. Who's Gamora?" And he has Drax on the ground, and Drax is like, "I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?" And it's just like, they look at him like he's a fucking idiot. There's also another great scene I shamelessly laughed on the plane at, was Tony Stark has this giant cannon aimed at Drax's head, and Drax is like, "Don't tell him anything. I can take it." And he's just staring down the barrel of this thing, and it's like, "No, you can't.
I can take it.
You're gonna die." But, they find out that that everyone's on the same side, and they're trying to fight Thanos, and so they kind of team up, but it's not really structured very well because the Guardians aren't good at that. They crash the ship on Titan, which is destroyed. It's in ruins. Everything's in ruins on that planet. And there you get Doctor Strange uses the Time Stone to look into the future, and he sees 14 million or something possibilities of what's going to happen. And there's only one possibility in which they beat Thanos.
Yeah.
And so they go, "We're going to make a plan." And so they make a plan, assumedly. I think this is where you start getting the fight scenes start coming together, right?
Well, I think they go back to Thor then.
And they're starting up the...
And they're making the... starting up the armory.
They're trying to start up the forge or whatever, right? Yeah. So they're trying to start up the forge. It involves, moving and opening these giant rings and getting the star burning again. And this all starts happening in tandem with each other, so you get... They're restarting the forge, which involves Thor standing directly in the beam of this energy coming off the sun, holding it open, getting just hammered with this shit. At the same time, you now have Tony Stark and the gang fighting Thanos back on his planet. And Thanos explains kind of his deal. Mm-hmm. Oh, we skipped the Gamora part.
Gamora part.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, guys, long time.
Yeah, long episode. Who would have thought talking about 20-something movies would take a while?
You get to Vormir. They
takes
walk the steps up to this mountain, and
so he threatens to kill Nebula. He caught Nebula trying to kill him.
Yeah.
He threatens to kill Nebula if Gamora doesn't tell him where the fuck the Soul Stone is.
Yeah.
And he has a recording from Nebula's memory banks or whatever that is Gamora telling her, "I know where the stone is. I destroyed the map that says where it is so that no one will ever find it." So he's like, "Tell me where it is or I'm going to kill her." She can't handle it. She can't stop it. So she's like, "Fine, I'll tell you where it is. It's on Vormir." And so they go to the Vormir planet. It's just Gamora and Thanos. And he's like, "If you're wrong, she's going to be dead." Meanwhile, Nebula escapes. She also meets them up on Titan.
Yeah.
Thanos and Gamora go up this big mountain. And this, when I first saw it, threw me the fuck off. They are greeted by a hooded figure who turns out to be none other than the Red Skull from Captain America, the First Avenger, who, when he dies at the end, you just see him get sucked up into this portal into space.
Yep.
Created by the Tesseract. He's like, "I'm cursed to guard this stone now. There's only one way you can get it." And Thanos is like, "My body is ready." And they're like, "Okie doke, come with me." And so they take him up to the top of this mountain, and it's just this big pit. And he's like, "Where the fuck is it?" And he goes, "In order to get it, you have to sacrifice something that you love." And Gamora's like, "Haha, sucks to be you. You don't love anything because you're a heartless bastard."
Yeah.
And he's crying. And she's like, "Are you really fucking crying right now?" And Red Skull's like, "Tears ain't for him, sweetie." And she's just like, "Oh shit." And he throws Gamora into this pit, killing her as like a sacrifice for the Soul Stone. He goes through this whole weird thing happens to him, and he wakes up in at the base of the mountain in some water, and he's holding the Soul Stone in his hand. Then you get his goons come to Wakanda. So while the Thor stuff with the Forge is happening, his goons are landing in Wakanda and have these monster armies attacking the shields that guard the city. And they're all gearing up to fight, and everyone's like, "Okay, we gotta fight them. We gotta do it." Oh no, they're gonna surround us. They're gonna destroy the shield, because these things are just throwing themselves at the shield, and some are making it through, and some are dying, getting cut in half. And so they say, fuck it, we gotta take them on. So they open the shields a little bit, and they kind of bottleneck them all in, and they're just taking them all out. Bruce Banner, since he can't go Hulk, is wearing the Hulk Buster armor that we see in Age of Ultron. It's like Iron Man's big fat Iron Man suit. He's fighting them. Everyone's fighting. While at the same time, T'Challa's sister and Scarlet Witch are hanging out up in her lab. Turns out Scarlet Witch, since her powers are derived from that stone, can destroy the stone with her powers. So the whole plan is get the stone out, blow it up. They're fighting, and all this crazy shit happens. And then once, suddenly it's like, they get the forge open with Thor. At the same time, Tony and the gang are trying to get the jump on Thanos. They're fighting Thanos. They're getting closer and closer and closer to beating him, and he's kicking their ass, all this shit. Just 3 fight scenes kind of going on. They forge the hammer / axe thing called Stormbreaker. Groot does this cool, he makes his arm into the handle and cuts his arm off. On Earth, everybody else is getting their asses handed to them by these monsters. It looks like they're all gonna die. And then suddenly the Bifrost comes down and wipes out it's like the coolest fight scene in the movie. Wipes out a huge amount of these monsters. Thor's axe comes out and kills a fuck ton of them, and everyone's like, the fuck's going on? And it's Thor, Rocket, and Groot ready to go.
Yeah.
He shouts, bring me Thanos. The battle kind of switches, and they start kicking the ass of the monsters.
I see you copied my beard.
Yeah. I am Groot. I am Steve Rogers. They fight. They beat them back. I think they actually managed to finally... Vision gets attacked. The two, one of the guys, the children of Thanos, they say he's dead. He's not actually dead. They were lying.
Yeah.
Goes to get Vision. Him and Vision kind of duke it out. He keeps trying to rip the thing out of his head. I think at some point he's kind of gets sidetracked fighting Captain America, and then Vision kills him with his own spear. Yeah. And everyone's like, okay, they're dead. Like, we're good. All this shit's going on with Tony and the gang. They're about to get the gauntlet off of Thanos. They got him down. They're almost have it off. The minute they get this thing off, everything will be okay. Peter goes and starts interrogating Thanos while they have him down. He's like, where the fuck is Gamora?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm so sad I lost her. Like, Mantis is like reading his mind.
Yeah.
And she's like, he's mourning. And then Nebula, who knows how to get the Soul Stone, says, basically sacrificed her to fucking get the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
So, and this is something I didn't understand when I watched this, however manyth time this was. Why doesn't he just fucking shoot Thanos in the goddamn head? Like, he punches Thanos.
Yeah, and wakes him up.
Which throws
yeah.
Mantis off his head, and then he wakes up right as Spider-Man gets the gauntlet off.
Yeah.
He grabs the gauntlet,
yeah.
pulls it back, gets it on, throws everyone away because now he's pissed, kicks everyone's ass. It's him versus Tony.
Yeah.
And he says, I know who you are, Stark, which freaks Tony out because... how do they know each other?
Yeah.
They're fighting. He beats Tony up. Almost, I think he stabs him in the side. Almost killing him. And then Doctor Strange is like, hold up, bud. I'll give you the Time Stone. Leave them alone. I'll give you the Time Stone. And everyone's like, no, don't do it. And he's like, I'm gonna do it. And he goes, plucks it out of like a little star. He had it hidden. Gives it to Thanos. Thanos puts it on. Now he can control time. He only needs one stone left, the Mind Stone. So he's like, thanks, guys, later. And
yeah.
Earth. Goes to Earth, and it's this, like, everyone sees him come, and they're like, shit. And everyone's, like, going at him, and he's just smacking everyone out of the way.
Yeah, and they're, like, in the woods or something, right?
Right, they're in the woods outside Wakanda.
And he's, like, heading towards Vision.
He's heading towards Vision and Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, and Vision's like, you need to do this.
And Scarlet Witch is like, I love you so much, I'm so sorry. And just, like... starts shooting him in the head to destroy the Mind Stone. Thanos is coming ever closer. He kind of has this like bout with Captain America where he gets surprised because Captain America holds him back.
Yeah.
And he's like, the fuck? He has that clear look on his face like, the fuck?
Yeah.
He just like throws him out of the way.
Yeah.
Gets to Vision right as Scarlet Witch is shooting at him, holding him back. And then she's just like, fuck it. Zap. Vision's head blows up, destroying the Mind Stone. And Thanos is like, that was a cool trick, babe, but not now.
Watch
Time
this.
Stone! And like reverses time and reconstitutes Vision, and they're just like, fuck no! And he grabs Vision, rips the stone out of his forehead, killing him. Puts it in his gauntlet, killing him like a third time or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Rah!" And his rainbow veins go through him because now he has all the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, and then Thor comes out.
Oh, this was cool.
It was cool, but it was sad.
So suddenly you see Stormbreaker spinning towards Thanos. Thanos shoots this beam at it from his fist, and it's not stopping it. And it's coming closer, 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 and just stabs Thanos in the chest. Thor comes down, and he's like, "Bitch, I told you I'd be back." And he pushes the axe into it. Thanos looks at him, and he's just like, "You should have gone for the head." And snaps. And they're like, "Oh, fuck!" And then, like, this shit happens. You get this weird...
Everything kind of goes gray.
Yeah, you get this vision of Thanos talking to Child Gamora, and she says, "What does it cost?" And he's like, "Everything." And it flashes back to the woods, and the Infinity Gauntlet is like burned into Thanos' arm. And Thor's like, "What the fuck did you do?" And he's just like, "Huh?" And like zips out into a portal. He's just gone. He think he's on his farm at the end of the movie. And then this is when people start disappearing. So half the universe is now destroyed to make enough resources for everyone else or whatever. Because that's Thanos' shtick. So people start deteriorating, and then
it's sad scenes.
Everyone's gone, and then you get Tony Stark and Nebula are left on the planet alone. Everyone else got snapped.
Yep.
Then you get, I think, the stinger, which is like the lead into Captain Marvel, was that Sam Jackson and Colby Smulders characters are like driving, and like planes are falling out of the sky, and they're just like, "What the shit's happening?" And people are deteriorating. She's like, "What?" Poof. And then he's like, "Oh, damn," grabs that pager he had and turns it on, and then he looks at his hand, and I almost wish they would have got one. It was PG-13.
Yeah.
They could have got their one here, and they should have done it. His hand starts to turn, and he just goes, "Motherfucker," and then like poof, he's gone. And then it lands on the ground. You see the Captain Marvel insignia on there. And it's just like, that's the end of that movie. We'll see you next time, guys. Like, that's how it fucking ends.
Yep.
Teasing off Endgame. So, I'm pretty sure that summarizes the last 22 fucking Marvel movies that have come out over the last decade or so, right? That covers them all? I think we're all
that
good.
covers them all. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was almost as long as Infinity War.
I feel like we just might as well watch Infinity War. Jesus Christ. So yes, stay tuned for later on. You guys will get our next episode where we actually go and watch Avengers Infinity War, myself for the first time.
Endgame.
God damn it, I did it. Endgame. See, I said in the beginning of this I'd do it, and I did it. Fucking A. In Endgame, I haven't seen it. These two have seen it. So stay tuned for that episode. It's going to be a good time, hopefully. I've heard from everyone this movie's good. So we'll see. We just really gave ourselves a crash course in what the fuck just happened. So, until next time on So What Happens Next, I'm Thomas.
I'm Amber.
And I'm Patrick.
And I don't think I have a stinger for this one either. Guess we'll see you guys at Endgame. Thanks for listening.